Dem, this is the interpreter of the person's.
Um, I can't hear you. Okay.
Elizabeth, please unmute yourself again, please, Elizabeth. Sorry.
Hi, Dem. This is the interpreter. If the person's not here, you want us to go ahead and interpret, or?
I'm gonna see what Khalid. So Khalid, before we start anything, can you go ahead? And if you're not speaking, please mute yourself. Thank you.
Hi, yes, good evening. I just wanted to inform everyone that we will have an ASL, American Sign Language interpreter, available with us to accommodate a constituent, Vincent Jenkins, who has asked that we provide such accommodations so that he may speak during our public session for about 3 minutes. So just wanted to let everyone know, and they may focus on ASL interpreter Liz in the panelists queue if you'd like to follow along in terms of how she can interpret for Vincent Jenkins. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Khalid. With that said, then I'm gonna get the meeting started. So, everybody, welcome to the February 24th full board meeting of Manhattan Community Board 11. My name is Adem Bria, and I'm the chair. This meeting is called to order at 6:33 p.m. Tonight, we are joined by the district manager, Angel Muscane, assistant district manager, Khalid Nixon, and community associate, Marlene Pierre. In order to conduct an efficient meeting, let's observe a few ground rules. No one may speak until granted the floor. CB11 members, if you have a question or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. To raise your hand through Zoom, click the participants icon and you will find the raise hand function there. You should not engage in a back and forth discussion. The chair will recognize the next person to speak. The chat should not be used to discuss or post questions about agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record. Please keep your questions and comments brief and on topic to the discussion. Members of the public can register to speak.
Excuse me, this is ASL interpreter Janine. Can you please slow down so we can keep up with what you're saying? That way the consumer can.
Yep, I heard you. No problem. Thank you for that. Okay. Members of the public can register to speak in the public session by completing the registration form and providing their name, affiliation, and the topic of their comments. You can register at the sign-in table, or in this case, via the online registration form. A link to the online registration form has been shared in the chat. The link is also accessible from the meeting agenda. Registration for public speakers will close at 7:15 p.m. We will now take attendance by roll call. Rosa, if you could please call the roll.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Please, everyone, listen for your names. I will call you twice. Jose Altamirano.
President.
Thank you. Fernando Alvarez. Fernando Alvarez.
President.
Thank you. Adem Bria.
Present.
Thank you. Marie Charles.
Present.
Thank you. Leslie Colon.
Present. Present.
Thank you. Carlos Diaz.
Present.
Carlos, I cannot see you.
Present. I know I'm trying to, can't see you, but could you hear me?
I can hear you, but just in case, everyone needs to have the camera on, okay? So I will come back to you.
Because I have a problem with my computer.
Okay,
But,
Rosa
I'll do
Diaz
the
is
best I
myself.
can.
Thank you, Carlos. Rosa Diaz is myself. Jessica Elliott.
Present.
Thank you. David Giordano.
Present.
I did not see you. Oh, I see you. Sorry about that. Ada Gizeri.
Present.
Thank you. James Gray.
Present.
Thank you. John Green. John Green. Absent. Chancellor Greg.
Present.
Thank you. Wanda Hopkins. Wanda Hopkins. Absent. And just in case, you need to have your camera on for the rest of the meeting, whoever has turned it off. Kyoka Jackson.
Present.
Thank you. Christina Johnson.
Present.
Christina. Thank you. Jewel Jones.
Present.
Thank you. James Kemp,
Present.
Sage Mason.
Present.
Thank you. Malik McCullough.
Present.
Thank you. Jennifer Meyer.
Present.
Thank you. Jessica Morris. Jessica Morris. Absent. Nilsa Orama.
Present.
Thank you. Beverly Pabon. Beverly Pabon, I saw you earlier.
Present.
Thank you. Samantha Pedreiro.
Present.
Thank you. Tanya Phelps.
Present.
I see you. Valerie Ponte. Valerie Ponte. Absent. Asher Rodriguez.
Present.
Thank you. Dawn Sanders.
Present.
Thank you. Xavier Santiago.
Present.
Thank you. Janal Satija. Janal Satija. Absent. Russell Schuler.
Present.
Thank you. Loretta So.
Present.
Thank you. Derek Stampone.
Present.
Thank you. Vincent Torres. Vincent Torres. Absent. Anne-Marie Vasquez.
Present. Present.
I cannot see you, Anne-Marie. Oh, beautiful. There we go. Jason Villanueva. Jason Villanueva. Absent. Hilda Vives Vasquez. Hilda Vives Vasquez. Absent. Nye Whitaker. Nye Whitaker. Absent. Agatha White.
Present.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Back to you.
We have quorum?
Yes, we do.
Okay, thank you, Rosa. Before I get to the adoption agenda, I see everybody's cameras are on. Look, just again to reiterate, it's open meetings law. We should have been following this procedure all along, since I think the pandemic, nothing's changed. You don't have to say if you're stepping away from a minute. This is all reasonable. If you have to use the restroom or whatever, go ahead. That's fine. Same thing you would do if we were in person. But just please keep your cameras on because it's a shame to have you be here the whole meeting and then, be marked absent because your camera wasn't on. So I'm going to try to reiterate this every meeting. I know this is kind of new.
No,
So-
I'm having problem with my camera. For some reason, I can't get it on. So if you don't see me, I'm still on.
All right, Carlos,
I'm
just,
sorry.
no, it's fine. Do your best and I don't know, maybe a private chat or text one of the staff if it's possible. They might be able to help you. It might just be a matter of hitting the camera. All right, so just do your best with that. Thank you for that. Thank you. All right, we're going to go to the adoption of the agenda. The agenda for tonight's meeting was distributed ahead of time by the board office and was posted on our website's meeting calendar. If there's no objection, we will adopt the agenda stated. Board members, if you object to adopting the agenda, you may raise your hand and wait to be recognized. Okay, do I see any hands? No, I do not. Seeing no objections, the agenda for tonight's meeting is adopted. We'll now move on to our public speakers. A few ground rules for those wishing to speak. You must sign up to speak, providing your name and affiliation. You will be allowed 3 minutes to speak. Your testimony should be addressed to the board, not the public. You should speak clearly and into the microphone. You should be prepared to respond to board members' questions. The questions should be in order to clarify facts and opinions presented in your comments. And so board members, you should only be asking clarifying questions. Please mute yourself if you're not speaking. Thank you. Commentary will not be entertained. All right, we will now hear from our registered public speakers. I'll go with the list I have here, and then Angel, if I'm missing anyone, please let me know. So the first person is Brandy Billings from Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporation, I believe. Brandy, if you are on, you can unmute yourself, and you have 3 minutes. Thank you. Okay. If Brandy, we'll circle back to Brandy if she joins, but we'll move to the next public speaker. Marceli Alvarado from WeAct. Is Marceli online? If you are, please unmute yourself and you have 3 minutes.
Hello,
Mariceli,
everyone.
I'm promoting you to panelist so that we can see you. Just give it 2 seconds and you should be on.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. You have to promote you to
Okay,
panelist. Yeah.
thank you. My name is Marciela Alvarado. I'm a community organizer for We Act for Environmental Justice. My email is marcieli.alvarado@weact.org, and my phone number is 646-983-7073. We would like to invite you all to our Lobby Day Prep event this Saturday, February 28 at 12 p.m. It will be at Manhattanville Community Center. Sorry. It will be at Manhattanville Community Center. We will be designing posters and learning tips to engage with elected officials on lobby days. We will also have our membership meeting March 14th at 10 a.m. For more information, go to weact.org/events. Thank you.
All right, do we have any questions for Marceli? All right, Dawn, go ahead. Thank you.
Maybe you should let everybody know when Lobby Day is and how important it is to go up to Albany and lobby for programs that you don't want to have cut from the budget.
Absolutely. We'll be going over all of that on Saturday. We will be lobbying for beauty justice. So we're trying to get toxics out of our personal care products, and we will go over all of that. And it's very important to advocate for our needs with elected officials. So please come to our event on February 28th, this Saturday at 12 p.m.
All right, do we have any other questions for Marceli? All right, Marceli, if it's possible, it might be helpful, if you don't mind, maybe just drop the information too in the chat. It'd be easier maybe for anyone who missed some of that to be able to take that down. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna move. I'm gonna circle back and see. We have another person signed up, but in the meantime, has Brandy, have you joined the meeting? Okay, I will try one more time after the next speaker. We will now go to, okay, well, I'm sorry, the other person. So just so we're clear, if you're an elected official, you are going to speak in the next portion of the meeting. If you are the representative of an elected official, you'll speak at the elected officials representative portion of the meeting, which will be after the board conducts business. So with that said, Angel, Brandy is not on. Am I not seeing any public speakers that have signed up?
There's one more registrant. It's Vincent Jenkins.
Okay, then Vincent or Mr. Jenkins, the floor is yours. You have 3 minutes.
Wait, Adam, this is the individual that needs assistance with ASL interpretation. I'm
Gotcha.
going to stop sharing my screen so everyone can have access to looking at cameras. I will pin Mr. Jenkins' screen up, and we can also follow ASL interpreters Liz and Janine Kane in terms of trying to understand what Mr. Jenkins is trying to convey to us. Everyone, please speak clearly and at a reasonable pace so that our ASL interpreters can accommodate Mr. Jenkins, okay?
Thank you.
Sorry, please give me a second to stop sharing my screen.
Take your time.
This
Okay,
is
I've
Liz, the
pinned.
other interpreter. Can you spotlight Mr. Jenkins, please? Not pin.
Yes, actually, thank you very much. Let me do that right now. Thank you. Sorry, I'm not able to spotlight him until he turns on his camera, I believe.
It's on now. Hello, hello. My name is Vincent Jenkins. Good evening to everyone. Mr. and Mrs. Chair.
Good evening.
I want to talk about tariffs this evening. For example, oh, they're constantly going up. Food prices is very expensive. You know, fare for transportation is very expensive. It's not free. Our country is struggling right now. It's just not fair. It's not right. It's wrong. The way our country is being ran. So we got to pray to our Father God for help, to help us, for more equitable exchange of the tariffs. Just being honest. It's just not fair. So I just hoping for equitable America, for the hearing and deaf to be together. It's not easy. You know, life experiences, it's just not easy. You know, with Black, Spanish, hijab, different nationalities need to come together and not be against each other. You know, we need to be right and empower. You know, share honest conversation and communication. We need to listen to one another, you know, as well as from deaf people in the community. I know it's difficult with the tariffs. It's not easy at all. So I'm just blessed. I'm hoping that God bless people, continue to bless people. Many people that are at risk. I see this happening. It's bad. Please help our organization and states and our government to do what's right. I know it's not, you know, it's not right all the time, and things happen and it's not done properly. It's a right way and the wrong way. Tariffs is like a punishment for us. It's wrong. We need to grow as a state. Thank you so much. And thank you for being honest. It's not my job. It's not for me to do. But just the politicians doing their part. Helping, making America, making people better. And changing things for the better. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jenkins. I'm gonna speak as slowly as I can. Do you want me to pause? Okay, good, you got me. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, I don't see any hands. Well, Mr. Jenkins, I think everything you said resonates with, if not all of us, then most of us. And I really want to thank you for taking your time this evening.
You're very welcome.
And you are more than welcome to attend, as all the public are, but these were really thoughtful comments. I'd love for you to continue to attend our meetings when you're able to. And we're going to do our best to help out how we can. I think a lot of what you talked about is, it can be affected by our local electeds or state electeds. A lot of it is federal, but we're on the ground in our community. And if our communities can band together, I do think we can make a big difference and achieve a lot of what you're saying. So hold us to that and please keep coming to our meetings.
That's right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Definitely.
Okay. Was there anything else that he okay. Well, thank you so much. And all right. Yep. Thank you. And you're welcome to stay on and hear the rest. And we're gonna
thank you very much.
Okay, I do have another hand. Just let him know there is a hand there. There might be another question for him. So then, Dawn, I'm going to recognize you. Please ask Mr. Jenkins your question, and then we are going to move to the next portion of our meeting. Thank you. Dawn, go ahead.
Thanks, Chair. I'm going to try. Thank you. I don't know if I did it right, but I wanted to just let you know that March 3rd is the lobby day in Albany. There's usually free buses going up, and you can speak directly to the elected officials, tell them your concerns. Usually there is a group that shares your concerns, taking the bus up to Albany. I put the information in the chat. I believe it's March 5th. And even though it's not your job, I do think that is a very good place to go and be heard by the elected officials that make decisions about our care and the things that we depend on. So thank you again.
Can you please email it to me as well? Is it March 2nd, 3rd, or 5th? If you can provide me with that information and the address.
Yes, I would be sure to forward that information to Mr. Jenkins tomorrow morning. Absolutely. This is Khalid speaking.
Okay, great. And if he puts his email also. Okay. Thank you, Khalid.
Okay, fine. I'll follow up tomorrow. Thank you.
All right. Thank you again, Mr. Jenkins. And with that said, we will move to our next speaker this evening.
You're welcome anytime.
Thank you. Angel, I see, I believe, do we have somebody else signed up to speak?
Yes, Johanna Dominguez from CEC4.
Okay, Johanna. Keel, guys, I see your hand is up.
It's just real quick. You have to be careful to tell him which lobby day he's going to. Lobby days are topic focused. So like there's a supportive housing lobby day, there's the lobby day. You don't just go to lobby day for any topic just to talk to elected officials. They're topic focused. So we don't know what's March 5th. So you gotta like whatever his interest is what he should be going to, not just
okay. I'll email Khalid because I do go up every year. I work with the legislature every year to lobby for MWBEs. So I will email Khalid. Thank you for pointing that out though, because there are some that have already passed. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I will try to connect him with OPWDD and other organizations that are going to be specific to what he's talking about. Thank you, Keoka.
All right, thank you, Keoka. Thank you, Dawn. And with that said, now we will recognize Johanna Dominguez. The floor is yours. You have 3 minutes. Thank you.
I don't even need 3 minutes. I think that I need less than that. Hi, everyone. My name is Johanna Dominguez. I'm the treasurer on CEC4. For the one who doesn't know, CEC is Community Education Council. We are parents elected by our parents community here in the District 4, a school district. So we have a monthly meeting. We always participating in the CB11, the Young Education. So the reason that I'm here is just to let you know that on Wednesday, March 11, between 6:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. is going to be hosting a town hall event with the Chancellor of Education, Kamar H. Samuel. It's going to be in Tito Puentes Educational Complex. It's going to be, the address is 240 East, 190th Street, here in New York, zip code 11029. So it's also going to be a streaming. So I don't know in which way I can send the flyers so you can see it. I know a few members of the CB11, so I'm going to be a pleasure for me to send the flyers to them. We want to pack the place. We want to be here. We want the support of all the community to make our kids' voice loud and have a better education for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Johanna. Do we have any questions? Okay.
My hand is up. I just want to know if she could
I
repeat
didn't see it. Thank you.
Yeah, I kind of blend, you know, I have a brown hand.
No, it doesn't go up. I need it to be raised with Zoom. Otherwise, I see it. Okay.
Yes. I just wanted Johanna to, if she can, repeat the time, date, and place. I know you said March 11th, but what time and repeat where we go?
Yes, of course, no problem. So it's a town hall with the chancellor. Community Education Council, they do that every 2 years that we met with the chancellor. So we have new chancellor in place for the Department of Education. So the day is Wednesday, March 11, between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. And it's going to be in Tito Puentes Educational Complex that is on the 240 East 109th Street, right here in New York. We're going to open the door earlier. It's going to be open at 6. So we're going to have like a little chat in front. And then what we do is everybody is involved and ask questions to the chancellor about education. So that's the main concept about the town hall.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna go to Vinny, but if you don't mind, and I'll say this for all public speakers, if you're sharing information, it would be helpful too if you could just put it in the chat so whoever's interested could
I'm
take it.
trying to, but I'm not allowed to post nothing on the
And you
chat
know
so
what?
far now.
And if you can't do that, you can always email it to one of the staff members and they'll circulate it to the board. Okay, so I'm gonna take 2 more hands and then we're gonna move the meeting along. And please keep the questions brief. I will go Vinny, and then after Vinny, it'll be Asher. Thank you. Go ahead, Vinny.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Johanna. I was gonna just mention if you could list the address and put it on the chat. You repeated it, Johanna. Thank you for that, and Adem, you mentioned it as well to circulate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinny. All right, Asher.
Hey, so I just wanted, it's just a quick comment. In the past, I've gone to these town halls and I've seen maybe like 1 or 2 members. So I will be sending out the information to the full board. I would love to see a CB11 presence there because it just shows the chancellor and his staff that we are active and we are advocating for the youth in this community. So
Thank you, Asher. Okay, Angel, am I missing any other public speakers?
No, the list is now exhausted. We now have electeds and waiting in the queue.
Okay, awesome. So with that said, then we will move to the elected officials reports, and we will now hear from our elected officials. We ask that The elected officials or their representatives complete the registration form if they wish to give a report. A link to the form has been shared in the chat. The link is also accessible from the meeting agenda. We ask that any event, service, literature be sent to our office so that we may post and share it as appropriate. Please try and keep your report to 3 minutes and be mindful. Well, okay, I'm not going to read the rest of that. And yeah, trying to stick to the script, but some of it's okay.
So I'll give you the first three names. So Councilmember Gail Brewer, Councilmember Elsa Encarnacion, and State Senator Jose Serrano are present.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. All right, with that, then we'll go in that order. So Councilmember Brewer, you're recognized. I'd introduce why you're here, but I assume you could do that better than I can. So the floor is yours.
Well, I don't know if I can do it better, but I appreciate it. And I appreciate being with my colleague, who is a great representative of East Harlem and the South Bronx. So the reason we're here, specifically me anyway, is to talk about Ward's Island. So the issue is we passed a law on the last session that basically states that the Housing Preservation and Development has to come up with a plan by July 2027, that's basically 2 years, what affordable housing could look like on Ward's Island. I know this is a crazy idea, but if everybody is not thinking about big ideas, then I don't know what we're doing. So as we know, it would have to include the state in addition, because the Kirby Manhattan Psychiatric is state. You've got the New York State Police Department there. You know better than I about the Help USA and also VOA. Both of them have homeless shelters there. You have all the bike paths. You have the Schwartz Center. Randall's Island Park Alliance has playing fields. And as you know, they're building a nature center. The MTA has, I don't know what, but they have a whole bunch of equipment there. Then you have urban farms. You have the wastewater treatment plant. I don't know if that is one of them that would be going to Rikers Island when, and this is long-term, Rikers Island closes. I know that there'll be 4 wastewater treatment plants that will be closing because the new one there will be so current, up to date. And then you have Odyssey House. So it's a big group. And the fire department, I can't tell if they're on Randall's or Ward's Island. But I think it's worth, and this is what your input would be tremendous, as well as your council member. It's worth having a discussion, being part of the state and the city led by HPD discussion. If in fact the wastewater treatment plant is part of the Rikers Island move, I think it would be incredibly helpful, because that is an issue that probably would not bode well for people who want to live there. So anyway, there's lots of issues, but those are the groups, I think, institutions that are there. And I just wanted to say that hopefully you'll be part of any task force. You'll have lots of ideas. You're the community that's closest. You have the bridge. You have constant discussions about what to do. So that, Mr. Chair, is what I have to say. And just to say, I'm meeting with the HPD commissioner next week, and I hope to bring it to her attention and involve local elected officials, community board, and all of the stakeholders that I just mentioned. So that's why I'm here, just to say this crazy idea, hopefully we'll have some legs and input, and we'll see where it leads us. I mean, if, you know, I was there when Welfare Island existed and it became Roosevelt Island. So it's an example of what can be done if everybody is involved. Thank you very, very much for your time.
All right, thank you so much, Councilmember Brewer. And I'm a Dem because I wouldn't be on this board if it wasn't for you. You appointed me a long time ago. And I personally think it's a wonderful idea, and I really appreciate you being here. And I think the board should be very involved. I mean, just from a personal level, I think this is amazing. And it's a big idea, but I think it has to be, especially with what, you know, the affordable housing crisis and everything that's going on. So do we have any questions for the council member? I'll take 2 to 3 questions so we can move the meeting along. Okay, I don't see any hands. Then thank you so much, Councilmember Brewer. Thank you again for being here, and thank you for all that you do. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. I think Vinny has his hand up, but maybe that's from.
That's an old hand, but see, okay, I shouldn't have been presumptuous, but okay. So it's an old hand, but thank you for picking up on that.
Thank you very much.
Take care again. Thank you. With that said, then we will move on to our Council member Elsie Encarnacion, who was a fellow community board member with many of us, and I'm glad to see her moving up as she should be. So Elsie, the floor is yours. Welcome to your first community board meeting as our council person. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Adam. I don't know if it's moving up. It's like moving sideways. Sometimes it feels like we all do the same work, just on different levels of government. Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Elsie Encarnacion. I am the council member for this district. I gotta remind myself that, but I was a former community board member. I served on this board for 6 years. I chaired land use. I joined many of the committees here, and so it is very good to be here and to be home. And to Councilmember Brewer's point, I think it's important throughout these next 2 years that the community really start having a visioning session around Wards Island, and not just Wards Island, but all of the spaces that are available to you. It is much, much better when people, developers, when this plan is done, when they come to you and you already have documents. So I encourage every single committee, because this will take all of the committees to really plan about their affected areas in these 2 years. And so that when this report is done, you guys have a plan that can really shape what will happen on that space. Obviously, we are in budget season. We walk right into our first budgets as new council members, and it's extremely overwhelming. We have to meet with many groups. We have to make sure that we're meeting new groups, meeting old groups that were funded under the previous council member. It's a very hard decision, but that is what we are faced with. The deadline for the expense applications has passed, including the deadline for the capital deadline, that if you're asking for capital funding from us and the borough president jointly, that application has passed. If you're asking for capital solely from the council member, you have until March 19th. So please, if you are with an organization or with a school, please know that. I wrote some of this down because they're just too much and I don't want to lose track. I did attend the ceremony at Timbale Terrace, where the mayor joined us to celebrate this long-awaited investment. As many of you know, during the last redistricting, this project and this parcel of land was moved outside of my district, so it now belongs to my neighbor, Councilmember Yusuf Salam. But I remember the very early conversations that I had around this project and when I was a community board member, and I have followed it throughout. I want to give a lot of credit to Deputy Speaker Diana Ayala. When she was the council member, she allocated some funds for that project, and so I was happy to be there alongside Adem as we threw dirt around. I don't know, it wasn't a ribbon cutting, so we threw some dirt. But I really am here because I want to talk about 2 initiatives that I think are really important that are coming up. The first initiative coming out of my office is what I'm entitling March Out. During the month of March, all of my offices, I have 2, one in the South Bronx and one in East Harlem, all of them will be closed every single Friday for the month of March. Not because I'm giving them time off, but because we're really taking our work into the community. So we'll be closing the office, and me and my team will be visiting small businesses, talking to residents in their apartments, connecting with parents at school pickup, spending time with community-based organizations to see how those organizations are actually doing the work. We can't always expect, right, people to come into our offices. People are working, they're caregiving, they're managing so much in their everyday lives. So we're piloting this initiative to really meet people where they are. At the end of March, me and my team will sit down, we'll see how effective it was and determine whether or not this will be a long-term commitment. But I really strongly believe that it's important for us to step out from behind our desk and reach our community. We keep seeing the same constituents over and over, and it's important for you to see us. So that is our March Out event. It will start on March 6th. So you'll be seeing my team out there with our gear and our flyers and all the other stuff. My second initiative is called the Plugged In Initiative, and this will be a workshop kind of roundtable where we really start to talk to residents about participating in City Council's legislative and budget processes. We've heard it today. We act talking about going up to lobby day. the CEC talking about coming to talk to the chancellor. These are all opportunities for our communities to be invested and involved and civically engaged. And, you know, I spend a lot more time at City Hall than I like to admit these days, but I really don't see a lot of residents from our district down at City Hall testifying at hearings, participating in the conversations that directly impact them. I completely understand the barriers. You know, you have to work, you have to take care of children. I get that. But there are residents who do want to be engaged and do have time, but just may not know how. So Plugged In will focus on how to craft testimony, how to track legislation, how to know when a committee hearing is hearing a bill that affects you, and how to show up effectively. Civic engagement, it really should not be, you know, something that is just like, come out and vote. We really have to start getting engaged. I would love to see my community out at press conferences on the steps of City Hall, and it's my job to inform them. So that's what I'll be doing with the Plugged In ceremony. I know I'm taking a lot of time. So lastly, I just want to share one quick update. I met with the Department of Sanitation, and during that meeting, I found out that we as a community, as a district, includes the Bronx, have lost over 56 garbage cans throughout the past few years. This was not okay. We've lost them for different things. We've lost them because of abuse of those garbage cans. We've lost them because they've been damaged and never replaced. But the fact remains that we had lost them. So thanks to that conversation and meeting with the DSNY, we were able to get DSNY to agree to replace those 56 garbage cans. And in fact, they have already put them out in the streets. Now, I was going to announce that publicly on my social media and in my newsletter, but I'm announcing it here first. And the reason why is because they have also agreed to be open to studying new locations where additional receptacles may be needed. So if you have suggestions, please email my office with the subject line garbage can location suggestions, and I'll bring those recommendations directly into our next meeting so that we can make sure that we have equity talk about our garbage cans. It's a simple thing, but it means a lot when we're talking about the quality of life issues that we're facing in our communities. And lastly, our Black History Month event had to be canceled because of the blizzard. So we are having it on March 15th, same place, the Elmendorf Church, same time, at same great music, same great energy. So please come out. I will drop all of that information into the chat so you have everything written. But thank you so much for the time. It was really great to be back. And if you have any questions, please raise those hands.
Thank you so much, Council Member. I think I can speak for all of us when I say we're super excited to be working closely with your office. I'm even more excited after hearing everything you talked about. I'm going to recognize the 3 hands I see up, and that'll be it. And I'll just say 4 hands, nobody else, please, because I won't go past 4. And keep them brief. And I'll just say any initiative that your office is pushing, you know, the Plugged In, Marched Out, we are happy to help when we can. I think, you know, the community should be at these hearings testifying. I'll hold myself accountable. There are probably people are tired of hearing our voices, but, you know, we can lead by example. We're community leaders. And, you know, if you're going to go down and testify, bring somebody with you who's not a board member. All right. So again, it's a two-way street. We want to help your office and, you know, we want you to help us. And I'm confident that that's exactly what's going to happen. So thank you. With that said, we'll go Beverly, and then I'll just recognize the hands in order. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Council Member. Congratulations. I'm so happy for your appointment. My question is regarding the garbage cans. I know on the west side, they got those garbage bins, and I want to know whether or not East Harlem would be getting that for some of the larger buildings instead of the smaller 56-gallon cans or stuff like that.
Which ones are you talking about? Like the big containerization kind of bins?
Yes, that they have on the west side of Harlem, it's usually for bigger buildings where they can store their garbage in for pickup.
I'm not sure of any that are slated to come here. I will say that there was a big debate even in this community because they take up a lot of parking spots and people get really, really upset when they do that, even though I think that they are, you know, they serve a good purpose. But that has not come through my office yet. Again, I've only been here almost 2 months. So, but if I hear of anything, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Beverly. Fernando, you're recognized.
Hello, Councilmember Encarnacion. How are you? I
Good.
just wanted to say thank you for the pledge of support for the paraprofessionals. Our community, East Harlem, has a very disproportionate number of paraprofessionals that work in the district, and we, the teachers and everyone else that supports the paraprofessionals, we're very appreciative for your pledge of support. And we know that Julie Menon is on board, and it just got put onto the floor today.
And I signed on.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you, Fernando. Anne Marie, you're recognized.
Hello, Deputy Speaker Encarnacion. Thank you for being present. My question is, how do we reach out to you? How do we reach out to get involved with your plug-in and march out initiative? I know that Adem mentioned that, let us know to be involved as CB11, but as a constituent or an organization, how do we be part of those initiatives?
Yes, I will put in the information into the chat. You can reach out to our office. We're going to be putting out the stuff on social media. The march out stuff is just us going out into the community. The plugged in stuff will be a series. So it'll be like an event that'll happen. We'll let you know ahead of time. The event's happening at this place at this time. We'll try to move it around to accommodate folks so that they can make it easier to go. We'll think about hybrid options if that's easier for folks as well. But we really just want to get the information to people and really like help them, like, the testimony is 2 minutes. So you go in, you do the testimony, but what should be in there? How can you be effective? There's so many bills being passed that are like affect our communities, and they have these hearings down at City Hall where people can come, and now you can testify virtually. So we want to just show all of those options. So I'll make sure that everybody gets the flyer. We'll put it on the newsletter, but I'll put all the information as soon as I finish my spiel. I'll get into the chat and type all that stuff in.
But for the march out, if we want you to visit an organization, or if to visit someone at home, how do we reach out to get on that list?
Yeah, so it's not a list. What we are doing is we're trying to do, so we have a small team, as you know, it's about 7 of us. So what we'll do is we'll split it up and we'll go out and try to hit as much as possible. If you have suggestions of places that you want to see us at, schools and stuff like that, I can't guarantee that we'll get to all of them because it's a pretty big district, but it's at minimum all Fridays in March. So definitely reach out to District 8 at Council, the email that I'll put in the chat, and let us know. Like, we have a really great program that we want to see. It's really also about some of the programs that have been funded year after year. We want to go out and see what they're providing, have a chance to meet some of the participants, get, some feedback about the program, and also, just talk to regular folks in the street. So if you have suggestions, feel free to send us the suggestions, and I'll put that information in the chat for sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Nilsa, you're recognized.
Hi, Elsie. I hope all is well. I just wanted to find out, I just wanted to confirm the date of your application is March 19th?
Yes, for capital. So
for capital.
Yes, the
expense already passed?
Yeah, it passed last week.
Okay, and then just a question about the plugin. Is this going to be, let's say, one event that's going to touch on a lot of different things, and then you'll, put that in different places? Or if it's going to be a series of events with different topics? And if so, is that something that you're also going to put potentially on your website so that those who make the event in person can then see it online?
Yes, it will be a series because there's a lot to cover. Some people are not really good at going in person and testifying, but there's so many different ways to get involved, including how to lobby your elected officials. There's times that my inbox are flooded with emails of people telling me, for example, the Para Respect Bill, right? People were saying like, you have to get on this, you want to, and a lot of those emails just don't come from people in the community. Sometimes they don't come from people in the city at all, to be quite honest, right? And so I really want to start seeing that engagement so that my community is putting pressure on other communities when things are important. So there are different topics, and there'll be different, it's a series. So each thing will have its topic, and then we'll get that out to folks. And if you can't, and we'll try to record them. It's a little tricky, but we'll try to record as much as possible and put the information out on the newsletters and website.
Okay, thank you, Elsie.
Thank you. All right, last hand for the council member, Asher.
All right, hi, Elsie. Just quickly, to Fernando's point, thank you so much as a paraprofessional in the district for supporting that bill. We hear a lot as paras that we are like this the like unseen helpers in the classroom, but we don't see that a lot. So thank you so much for actually like putting action to the word. My one question is do you know of any other, and I might have missed this, any other hearing regarding that bill coming up? Since I
I'm
know
not,
it's just announced today that
it
it
was
was
just
going
a,
back on the floor.
yes, it was just introduced. There has to be a hearing. So I would look at the schedule for the education committee and see when it's going to be heard. And I'll try to flag you for that, but I'm pretty sure the UFT is going to be on that and they're going to be sending it out to folks. But I'll make sure to flag you for that. And that's, that's part of the series
Okay.
learning
All
more
right.
about. Yeah.
Thank you again for putting the money where the mouth is.
Of course, of course.
All right, well, thank you so much, Asher. Thank you so much, council member, for being here and the thoughtful answers to the thoughtful questions. So we hope to have you again soon, all right? Thank
And
you
thank
again.
you for all of the work
Thank
that
you.
you guys do. I've been here. It is not easy. You guys are not paid, and I appreciate each and every single one of you.
And we appreciate you. Thank you. With that said, we will move to Senator Serrano. Senator, I am very thankful for your patience, and I promise next time you're here, you will get to go first. All right, so
No,
the floor is yours.
I actually prefer to go last because then I can to my colleagues speak before me. But thank you so much to you, Adam, and to everyone at Community Board 11 for inviting me here tonight. It's good to be with all of you. As you can see, I'm in Albany. We are in the sort of the throes of the budget season right now. We're starting to formulate our budget one house in the Senate, which will be a very important list of what I'd like to see as priorities for our community. As you know, I represent the 29th Senate District, which covers the Bronx and East Harlem, as well as Randall's and Ward Island. So certainly looking forward to speaking with Community Board 11 to learn more the feelings of the community as to what should happen there. As chair of the Committee of Parks, I care deeply about parkland. So of course, anything that happens in these spaces, we have to also be respectful of parkland and not alienating too much of it, ensuring that we can have the green spaces that we need as a community. I'm also the chair of the Committee on Arts and Culture. I'm also chair of the Majority Conference. And like I said at the beginning, we're working on our budget one house and trying to get to an April 1st budget deadline that ensures different things that we need in our community. Want to mention before I go too deep into budget that we hold our offsite constituent hours throughout the 29th Senate District, 2 that are coming up. One will be at Gaylord White on the 5th of March, and the other is on the 19th of March at Govello. We will also be doing in April, on the 10th of April, a virtual event with NILAG, which will be a good opportunity to deal with any legal issues that you have. My priorities are funding for the arts and culture, for NISCA, ensuring that there's also funding for NYCHA, Michelamas, the Housing Access Voucher Program, and healthcare. Also invest in our New York, making sure that our wealthiest among us pay their fair share of taxes to ensure that we have the services that we need in our community. I've been very happy to be supportive of the Harlem River Greenway, how that affects the South Bronx and East Harlem. And I've allocated $1.5 million in capital funding for the construction of the bathrooms at the East River Esplanade at Thomas Jefferson. So there's a couple of bills that we have been working on that are very important for our community. I have a bill that would modernize the way SNAP benefits are distributed and the security of them. And that would be by placing a security chip on SNAP cards, similar to what you see in a debit card or a credit card. Unfortunately, this is not the case right now. And that's why you see a lot of skimming of these funds that really hurts the most vulnerable among us. I think it's very important that we get that done either in the budget or as standalone legislation. I also have legislation to create cultural districts throughout the entire state of New York. I know my good friend, Senator Cordell Clear, has worked on cultural districts in specific areas throughout East Harlem and in Harlem, and I've been very supportive of those efforts, but certainly trying to find ways to recognize that throughout the state of New York, there are thriving arts and cultural communities that could really use the support of a cultural district. So with that, I don't want to give too much information here other than, and if there's any time for questions, I'd like to take them. But, you know, certainly as we move through this budget process, if members of the board or community members have a list of priorities that they would like to convey to us, we would be more than happy to take those in, and that feedback is very important. Keeping in mind some sort of overarching issues that we're dealing with that are very specific to the moment. The assault on the immigrant communities that we all love and represent here in East Harlem has created a real challenge for us. These are a very vulnerable community, but with all that's happening, the amount of trepidation and anxiety in the immigrant community is keeping them away from healthcare, from employment, or for legal services when they need it. I think it's important that we show that we are indeed a sanctuary city, that we will protect the rights of our immigrants and those who are here in our community working and building our community. And that is something that is a huge challenge right now. But with that, I'll stop and I'll be happy to take any questions you may have.
All right, thank you so much for the informative and very good report. I just have a couple of things to actually say. In terms of arts and culture, I mean, I think we all agree that Casa Belongo is a big win for this community, especially on Park Avenue. We had our economic development meeting last evening. It's also the Economic Development and Culture Committee. I think the culture part of it has kind of faded in recent times, and we're hoping to bring that back and put that as, I think that can serve as a very much needed economic driver to this community. So knowing that that's something that's near and dear to you, I think it would be great if we could figure out ways to support whatever you're doing in that. And then in terms of the immigration, our council member, Encarnacion, I believe, is the chair of the immigration committee. So that's another strength we'll have there, because I agree with everything that you said on that. And I was going to say this later, but last thing I just want to touch on, and I was thinking about this earlier and talking with Angel and Jose in our leadership call. You know, we can start to think about crafting some of our agendas based on our electeds' bills that they've co-sponsored, that are maybe still at committee or you know, not passed into law yet, and see how we can help support those bills, you know, and I'm assuming most of them are going to align with what we're fighting for. And, you know, so to reach out to your office and the council member's office and be like, you know, we see this bill, how can we advocate? What should we be talking about? What should we be getting the community to be talking about? I really want us to strengthen and really build on the partnerships we have, but with you know, a real plan, and not, you know, like have you all come here. When we call you here, I want you guys to feel this is time well spent coming to this board. So that said, okay, there are 5 hands, so I will recognize all 5, but that'll be it. And please, 1 question each, and just questions, no commentary, just a brief question for the senator. So Leslie, you're up first. Thank you.
Good evening. Thanks for showing up, Serrano. As we've been bumping into each other on recent events now, my serious concern is always the 2nd Avenue subway, which is right under my building, next to a gas plant. But with the increase in income and the increase in rent, there was something that Mitchell Lama has never done, which is an increase in the exemption that we're going to be speaking about, to increase this complex to be affordable. My mother has moved in here 63 years ago, and she's told me that the rent was $150. Now it's over $1,200 for the same size apartment. So with that, we don't get the same discretion of having exemptions when we submit our income affidavits every year. That was one. And the second one is what's going on with the Esplanade. We're having all this construction and all this groundbreaking, but nothing is being done with the Esplanade. And that's a vital point, a vital area for the people in this neighborhood to have some kind of glorification, some kind of beautification for the east side. The west side looks great, but the west side is falling into the East River. Can you elaborate on that, please? Thank you.
Sure, very quickly, and thank you for your feedback. I know we spoke recently about what's happening at Franklin Plaza and the concerns there as it pertains to the next phase of the Second Avenue subway, which I fully support. But as we had in the first phase, there is always a lot of inconvenience, and we have to make sure that the residents along Second Avenue have the support that they need, and that we're not inconveniencing them. So I would certainly love to sit with you and get some of the specific concerns as it pertains to that and the affordability issue in Franklin Plaza and how that has changed over the years. We're seeing that in a lot of former Mitchell-Lama areas or even buildings that have remained in Mitchell-Lama. And I think this speaks to the overall lack of affordability in the city of New York. So I would love to talk with you more about that. Regarding the Esplanade, I've had the good fortune of working with CB11, a lot of folks who are on this call right now, over the years on sort of revisioning the Esplanade, giving it the necessary repairs, and all of the elected officials who are here have done an amazing job toward that. I remember working with former Assembly Member Robert Rodriguez on legislation for the Esplanade. Then the city came through with a tremendous amount of funding, and we're starting to see that. I am also looking to find ways out of capital funds to fill in some of the gaps as it pertains to the Esplanade, because it's more than just an Esplanade. As you know, it's sort of a cultural hub for those who understand how East Harlem is sort of the center in many ways of the Puerto Rican diaspora, and how the Esplanade and access to the waterfront is intrinsically important. Having that as a viable space is very important. So I would certainly work with you and get some more information on the progress, and I could report back to you on that.
Thank you. Candy, you're recognized.
Thank you. Hi. Thanks for coming by. I do wanna, since you're up in Albany, we're having, I'm not sure if you're aware that East Harlem has 5 organizations that are under the Neighborhood Preservation Program. And under this program, each of us do our own, and these are all the not-for-profits, grassroots from East Harlem that are doing different services and operating some services for different, within their own scope of service. We right now are finding out that in that budget, the governor is cutting our funding, some of the fundings, and it's like, when you're scaling it back to the funding sources, it affects economic development, it affects the services to provide the residents and anyone in our catchment area that we're trying to help out, and also with housing. So and socioeconomic needs. I would like to see what is your position on that, and if you're supporting it, and that's under the Neighborhood Preservation Program.
Thank you. Well, so right now, the phase of the budget process that we're in right now is that we're still grappling with the governor's proposed executive budget. So I'm assuming that what you're mentioning here, this potential cut, is proposed in the executive budget. I can look through this and find out if the Senate One House will address this, because I have a pretty strong suspicion that a lot of members of my conference are going to be very concerned about cuts if it is pertaining to our community in this way. So what I can do is I can have my staff who are on this call dig through the executive budget to find that provision. And then we can do what we can to push against it so that when we do the final enacted budget on April 1st, we can rectify that. A lot of the budget is called the budget dance, right? It's very unfortunate. It's not a really fun dance at all, where the governor will remove certain things from the budget. We as a legislature will fight to restore the funding We will be really happy if we get it restored, but we don't raise the bar. So it's almost like running in place. Then the next year she'll cut it again and we'll restore it again. And it just creates anxiety. It makes it hard to sort of plan around these budget cuts. And we don't grow. We don't grow the number. We don't lift the baseline. So Candy, I would love to sort of drill down on this with you a little bit more. And maybe we could schedule a meeting and you could give me sort of the 5 organizations or the different organizations that you're discussing.
Okay, because I'm concerned about funding leaving our community. You know, those
Exactly.
resources never come back, and so, you know, it becomes a disenfranchise in our community.
Okay,
But thank you.
certainly.
I'm looking forward to that conversation.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you, Candy.
Thank you, Candy. Nilsa, you're recognized.
Hello, Senator Serrano. Thank you for being here. I'm talking on behalf of my community, but as housing chair. And I am a former chair of Community Board 11 for 4 years. I'm concerned because Community Board 11 has asked from city agencies, and so now I'm asking you as a state representative. We have asked to get a sense of how many supportive and transitional housing units are in our community so that we can see what kind of supports they need, whether there is an oversaturation, whether different housing for families and different types of categories that may be underrepresented should be considered. And we always hit blocks, and we don't know what's in our community. We don't know what's in the pipeline. And for us as the community board to not be able to answer constituent questions, and when someone is constantly saying we have too much transitional housing or too much supportive housing, and you know, we might be able to get a list from certain places, but there are private developers as of right who can come into our community and build. There are also a lot of services that will come because they need a letter, but there are a lot of services that don't. And so there are different categories of funding streams that will say that things are supposed to be confidential. We're not asking, or I'm not asking for numbers in terms of names. I am just simply wanting to know what's in our community. I don't think that that's too much for this community to ask. This is like the supportive housing, transitional housing, clinic area. And our other, you know, we have other residents here who would like to see a symphony, a bowling alley, just regular affordable housing that doesn't have anything tied to it. And so people wherever they live should know what's in their backyard. I'm sure that where you live, you like to know who your neighbors are so that you can support them if needed. Well, we too, I speak for myself, would love to be supportive. But if I don't know what's here and I have no idea, and then we have people who come to our meetings and see that we are almost in the dark, that is not a good look. Not from the state that may be you know, approving increases in Medicaid services for certain things or for clinics or things like that. It's not a good look from not being able to get numbers from HPD. We're not asking for sensitive information. We just want to know what's in our community. I'm not quite sure that you can help with that, but I ask any elected here on this call that you think about, would you like to be in the dark surrounding what is where you live, where you work? We would like to be able, we're a welcoming community. I think we show that with all the affordable housing that's built. However, the other day in the executive committee, we had 2 projects come, supportive and transitional, back to back. And we had several members there of the community that just look at us like we're ineffective because we can't even get straight answers from not only our legislator, but our elected officials. So I would welcome having a conversation with you. Maybe a lot of people here don't agree with what I'm saying. All I want is information and knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you, Nilsa. I certainly think that that's not, that's a very fair question. Having an audit of knowing what services are in your community is certainly not allowed to ask. That should all be public information. And I could certainly help facilitate that. I think to your overall sentiment about that and as it pertains to saturation in certain communities, fairness in siting, ensuring that that there is fairness in siting throughout the city of New York. I think it boils down to a couple of things. First of all, CB11, East Harlem, the South Bronx have been, host to a lot of these social service communities. And I think that shows where the heart of our community is. We certainly want to help people, but is it indeed fair to the clients to have them all clustered in one place? Is that the best way to give treatment to individuals who are in need of treatment? And again, out of all the different players in all of this, the people who I care most about are those who are in need of treatment and making sure that they get what they need and they do it in a certainly in a fair way that helps them get the treatment. But right, there is a lot of as of right building that happens throughout the city of New York. When I was a city council member, I used to ask those same questions and saying, well, why didn't this go through ULURP? Why wasn't there a community board discussion? Well, a lot of these things happen as of right because they are in the category of an emergency a declaration for these services for people. So being mindful of that and also from my own point of view when it comes to these things, it's about being as empathic as possible for the clients, but also making sure that the communities that are the hosts for these places have the services and the support that they need.
Thank you. Kyoka, you're recognized.
Sorry, I'm still in my office. I apologize. Good evening. Thank you for being here, Senator. Just a quick question. I run a program, as well as being a community board member, I run a baseball program in East Harlem, in which I have over 200 children that I teach basic baseball skills to in Thomas Jefferson Park. In Thomas Jefferson Park. And I do know that it is a city park. But I do know that there is some funding in the state that can help with capital projects in city parks. And one of the things that I've noticed is that our baseball fields in East Harlem are never touched. And specifically Jefferson Park, it has not been touched in the last 20 years. I was hoping that you might be able to put that on your radar. We literally, I start my program at 4 years old. And we cannot use one of our baseball fields because it has potholes that can cause ankle damage to our young people. Again, when we talked to the Parks Department, 20 years was the last time that it had any renovations. I think they said 20 years. So I was hoping to put that on your radar.
Thank you. And please, any and all capital projects that you think I should be aware of or could be supportive of, please send them my way, especially when it comes to parks. And I think your program sounds great. And certainly one of the challenges that we have in our community is viable green spaces. Like I mentioned, I do try to give a lot of capital funds to the renovation of parks. I have had meetings with New York City Parks to try to find out where the areas of need are. And sometimes that's a long process. It's sometimes hard to figure it out, and it's hard to get the money through the pipeline. But I can certainly circle back on this particular field, and I can find a way to deal with that field. One of the things about capital funding is that it has to have a minimum of a 10-year lifespan. So I believe that sometimes that makes it a little bit difficult. Like, is this something that's going to last? Or is it something that is different? I think parks may be a little bit different. Don't quote me on that, because parks are very organic. But I certainly think that the parks in our community need a lot of love. And, they bring a lot to us, right? Connecting more people to nature, even if it's your neighborhood park, has tremendous health benefits, mental health and physical health benefits. So I will certainly look into that and have a conversation with the borough commissioner about those fields.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, last question for the senator. Fernando, you're recognized.
Hello, everyone. Mayor Mamdani just said that he wants to make up for the $12 billion deficit left by our previous mayoral administration. And he recently said that he has two paths to take. One is proposing the 2% tax increase on anyone making more than $1 million a year. And the other path is a 9% property tax increase for the middle class homeowners in New York City. I just wanted to know real briefly, what's your position on that? And have you heard or worked on anything on that up in Albany?
Well, thank you so much for that question. Not being a member of city government, I'm not as deep in the weeds on this. I deal with Governor Hochul, and I try to encourage her to tax the rich. But certainly out of those two, I guess if I had to choose one, I'd be more in favor of a millionaire's tax than a property tax, only because one may be more regressive than the other. And it might inadvertently hurt people who own property who may on paper look like they have wealth because they own property, but as far as their cash or income may not be wealthy enough to cover any potential large property tax increases. So certainly I support the mayor's desire to fill this budget gap. I think it went from 12 down. I think it's a little bit better. He did some new calculations, so I think it's improved slightly. However, I believe that a small tax on the highest earners, not only in the city, but throughout the state, they won't really feel it as much, but the benefit for our community and for our services and for the foundations of our society will be really profound. And these types of benefits that will come will actually help generate revenue in a lot of different ways. So I certainly would be more in favor of one than the other. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fernando. Thank you so much, Senator Serrano. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the thoughtful answers, and we hope to have you here again soon, and maybe in person. I seem to be they're going to call me the snow chair. It's just going to snow every full board meeting that I do this, I guess. So,
and as I've had in the past, I was invited to speak before the Arts and Culture Subcommittee. If you ever want me to come before subcommittees and give a report, I'm more than happy to do so.
I think that would be incredible. Thank you for that offer. I will definitely take you up on it. Thank you again. Okay, that concludes our elected officials reports for the evening. That was a great section. With that said, we're going to go to the Borough President's report. So we're going to hear Borough President Hoylman Siegel's office. Now, I believe Porfirio is on, so the floor is yours.
I am indeed. Hello, everyone. Porfirio Figueroa, Deputy Director of Community Affairs for the Manhattan Borough President's Office. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, CB11. First of all, I want to take a moment and wish everyone a happy Black History Month and happy Lunar New Year. Sadly, due to the blizzard, we had to postpone the inauguration and borough convention. So we hope to have more information on rescheduling that soon. A reminder that the community board applications are still live, with the deadline to apply being this Friday, February 27th by 5 p.m. So please continue to share with your networks and do reapply ASAP if you need to do so. We are thrilled to announce our new Manhattan Deputy Borough President. Her name is Misha Smith. We're also excited to announce that the new Manhattan Borough Historian is Harold Holzer, who is a Lincoln Scholar. This month, the LGBTQ community has been under attack. Allegedly, in the dead of night, the Trump administration removed the pride flag from the Christopher Park, home of the Stonewall National Monument. The Manhattan Borough President was proud to join many elected in re-raising the flag once again at Christopher Park. We received news that significant New York City hospitals will no longer be offering gender-affirming care to patients under 19. Gender-affirming care is a life-affirming care, and the Manhattan Borough President will remain a forceful advocate for ensuring people have access to the health care they need. We want to spotlight two events. We are partnering with the Studio Museum in Harlem for a free admission community event to honor Black History Month this Friday, February 27th from 4 to 9 p.m. for up to the first 400 attendees. We will be sending that information to the district manager's office for distribution. Alongside Assembly Member Micah Lasher, Interfaith Center of New York, Hands Off New York City, and St. Michael's Episcopal Church, the Manhattan Borough President's Office is hosting an ICE preparedness town hall panel and training this Sunday, March 1st at St. Michael's Episcopal Church, 225 West 99th Street at 5:30 p.m. That information has also been sent to the district manager's office. Last, the Manhattan Borough President, Brad Hoylman Siegel, wants to congratulate CB11 for its work leading to the last Wednesday's Major Mandami's press conference and groundbreaking for the Timbale Terrace housing development, which will house 224 affordable apartments, with 97 of them being designated as supportive housing and be the new home for Casa Belongo's Music and Arts Center for the Afro-Latin Jazz Alliance. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for Porfirio? Okay, seeing none, then thank you as always for being here, and we'll see you soon. Thank you again.
Absolutely.
All right, so that concludes our Manhattan Borough President report. Just a reminder, our representatives of elected officials, if they wish to stay on, they will have an opportunity to speak after new business, okay? With that said, we do not have any presentations this evening, but we do have a public hearing on the mayor's preliminary budget for fiscal year 2027. Before I get into reading the ground rules for this, to spare us some time, Angel, has anyone signed up to give testimony during this public hearing?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I put the prompt again in the chat in case anyone wants to do so now.
Okay, I mean, I don't think we're going to circle back to this, so I would take your advice, being this my first public hearing. Should we wait a minute or?
I would suggest just kind of laying out the rationale for the hearing.
Okay, I can do that.
A little bit of time and then see if folks want to register.
Yeah, all right. So the board is going to be issuing its statement on the mayor's preliminary budget for fiscal year 2027. So I'm just going to keep this really simple. I don't think typically done this. This is not the most exciting thing because this is not the mayor's executive budget. Again, it's his preliminary budget, but because we'll be crafting our statement on it, I thought it would be important to see if we could get feedback from the public to help shape our statement, right? So it's not just coming from us. I believe we're supposed to try to have public hearings monthly, and I'm pushing for that. I'm not just going to have them for no reason. I know we haven't had great turnout, but if there is no one speaking, I'll wrap it up with this. I just want to thank Sage Mason and Asher Rodriguez for helping me distribute and post flyers throughout the neighborhood. Clearly, our efforts didn't work this time, but I'm confident they will, and we'll find better ways to do outreach. And I do want to thank Rosa for taking the flyer in English and also translating into a flyer in Spanish as well as a flyer in French. And I think it's important that as many of the materials that we disseminate to the public, that we do so in a multitude of languages, because we have a very diverse community. Angel, now that I've said all that and bought some time, has anyone signed up to speak from the public?
Hold on a second. No.
All right. So, okay, we have two hands, and then we're going to conclude this session because it is for public testimony. We do have the ability as board members to give our input on this throughout. So Sage and Nelsa, I recognize you, but please, I don't think there's a need for testimony from any board members. So go ahead, Sage.
Yeah, thank you for leading us in this public hearing, Adem. And also thank you for the flyers. I would say that, and this is not public testimony, but just I think part of the reason we're trying to increase our participation in these public hearings. Because of the snow, like we posted these flyers, and the flyers really just invited people to the in-person hearing, and you can't like update a flyer live. So it's possible that people would have gone in person, but did not find out that this meeting was canceled if they were just somebody that saw this on the street. And the QR code on the flyer only had a link to just to register for this Zoom, not to sign up for the public hearing. So I think it'd be good maybe if we just like, I don't know if attendees can raise their hand but I gave people who just haven't filled out this form like an opportunity to speak if they have anything to say. Not that we're expecting that, but I think might be a good option.
I don't have Nilsa, I guess I'll get to you, but Sage, I don't have a problem with that. I think that's a good idea. So, people have heard him. If anybody is here from the public and wishes to raise their hand now to offer testimony, you're welcome to do so. And I will give it 15 seconds or so to see if we get a hand. Okay. All right. I don't think we see any hands. Sage, all your, I guess critique, which is a fair word, is noted, and I definitely think we can improve this. My hope is that we will get great turnouts. I think we've heard from our elected officials that they also struggle at times to get testimony down there. So we'll keep trying this, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm open to any ideas any members have on how we can better engage in outreach. And I'll talk more about that in my chair report, which I will do my best to keep brief. Nilsa, go ahead.
Well, in that respect, what I was going to suggest is that because Councilwoman Encarnacion is doing a plug-in event, and it's going to be a series, that maybe the community board reaches out to her in terms of having how to give testimony, but definitely about the importance of commenting on the budget and district needs. And I think that's something that the councilwoman and her office can help and assist, and that can be part of their ongoing series to help educate the community in their participation.
I think that's a great idea, and just to, I think, build on that, I spoke to the council member about potentially having joint public hearings with the board, and I think, even if we do a couple of those with the council member's office, I think that will get people realizing that we're having these public hearings. So even when we're just doing one on our own, there'll hopefully be a better turnout. And I'm going to just reiterate what I said. We are here to support the council members' efforts with plugged in, march out, whatever they are. I'm happy to participate in all of that. I understand there might be times where they need to do that within their own office, and we respect that. But again, we are here to work with them, and I think these are all great ideas. I'm confident that we will figure this out sooner than later, and I'm committed to that, as I know many of you are. So with that said, going with this script, having heard no testimony from any registered speakers, the hearing on the mayor's preliminary budget for fiscal year 2027 is now closed, and that is it. So with that said, we are going to move into our business session. So we will go to the adoption of the board minutes. The minutes from the last full board meeting, which were January 2026, were distributed ahead of time by the board office. If there is no objection, we will adopt the minutes from that meeting. Board members, if you object to adopting the minutes, you may raise your hand and wait to be recognized. Okay, seeing no objections, the minutes from the last full board meeting are adopted. They will soon be available on the CB11 website. Okay, going to my chair's report. A lot of what I would have talked about has already been said, so I think I'm going to stick to 3 or 4 brief things. First is just want to talk about 2 meetings that I held with leadership of the relevant committees. One was with our district manager, Angel Muscane, our land use chair, Jason Villanueva, and our housing chair, Nilsa Rama, and our housing vice chair, Beverly Pabon. went to 22 East 119th Street to Volunteers of America, their supportive housing for veterans. They are in the process of I believe it's pre-ULURP of looking with HPD to essentially redevelop and accumulate additional lots on that block. The plan, you've all heard it, but essentially they are going to knock down the supportive housing for the veterans that's there, relocate them in the meantime, build them a brand new building, and additionally build more units of affordable housing. We wanted to go just get an idea of the services they're currently offering. And I think we were all, it's hard to get a full picture, but they were very inviting. And from what we saw, they looked like they were running a good operation. I will say I felt good about the meeting. A few of the things that we brought up, they seemed receptive to them. I had a talk with Angel had actually asked me, and me and Jose, if we had any ideas on some of this underused ground floor space in our community that just sits there vacant in residential buildings, especially on corridors like Park Avenue. And, one of the ideas that I threw out there was, is there a way to convert that into additional units and housing where there's just really no feasible future for commercial space? And I threw that idea out here. They've been very eager about hearing what our feedback would be for community facility space, which I believe is 18,000 square feet there, which is substantial. We're talking about potentially 30 more apartments if that wasn't facility space. And believe it or not, they said it's possible. Their architect was there and he said it's possible. I'm not saying that the board would support that over community facility space, but I just think it gives us options. We also asked that they be committed to more family units. I think we've heard from NILSA about supportive housing, and whatever anyone's feelings are on that or the services in our community, the fact of the matter is we need data. And data will inform decisions. And without that, I don't know how we get told what we need more of or how we decide what we need more of. And so I think we're just asking for data. And then the other part of that was community preference. They're going to try to find out if there's any way with supportive housing and the referral process, if there is a way to give preference for units to people that are in the community. They aren't sure, but they will be getting back to us. The other meeting we had was with NYCHA. We had the CEO of NYCHA, Lisa Bova, I think Hyatt and Brian Honan and their whole team. I was very impressed that they all came to the board on a weekday. And again, being a housing related thing, I was attended by our housing chair, Nelson Orama, myself, our vice chair, Jose Altamirano, our housing vice chair, Beverly Pabon, could not make it, and our district manager, Angel Muscane. I had made this robust agenda. We had a hard time sticking to it. I ended it early, so I said they owe us at least another meeting because we went quick. But one of the things that came out of it, and I think it's a big thing in this community, is RAD-PAC, right? We know Section 9 funding for public housing is pretty much non-existent. It won't cover it, and right? And so Section 8 and RAD-PAC has unlocked this funding to basically gut renovate buildings. And there's been a lot of information about heightened eviction rates and when these properties enter that program, and that even after the work has been done, there's a high number of violations coming back. And NYCHA said that they felt that a lot of that information, including the audit released, I believe, in some regards, was not fully accurate. And I think, again, without taking a position, I offered the idea to NYCHA of us partnering with them and with the CEO and at least having informational sessions on RAD-PAC to our community, just to really give them the facts that the NYCHA developments that are unsure if they want to enter into that program. There's also the NYCHA Preservation Trust where you can unlock Section 8 funding and continue to have NYCHA manage you rather than a private management company. I just think it's really, really important because I asked them flat out. I said, if a development does not want to enter into RAD-PAC or preservation, and they stay in Section 9 as they have, and they need a $30-40 million capital repair 5 years down the line, to redo all their pipes or whatever it is the money going to be there? And Nilsa, correct me if I'm wrong, I see you nodding your head. They said there wouldn't be. That's what they said. I know other people might hear that and say, oh, that, but that came from them. I have no reason to believe that isn't true. So there aren't many options at the moment, but there are options. Sometimes there aren't any. And again, without taking a position, I think we can do outreach. And I think if we start to partner with organizations and electeds that have greater reach than we can, and we show that we're prepared and we have ideas, we can really get information out there at the very least to our community. Then I guess the last thing I want to mention, and you could read my report, it's long, is I just want to thank everybody for the first, to make things a little lighter, the first board member get together. We had a really great turnout. Porfirio dropped in for a bit to say hello. Our council member, Encarnacion, and her chief of staff, Stephanie, stopped in. We had a bunch of board members. Nilsa was there, Leslie was there, Christine. I'm not going to name all of you so no one feels left out if I forget someone. But I believe it was like 15 members or so. We stayed till about midnight. We played music, had food, and we left the office spotless, most importantly. And I want to just say that, my goal is to keep as many of all the promises that I've made and build on those. And so I'm hoping to have the next one in the beginning of March. I mean, sorry, not the beginning. The end of March, beginning of April. And again, everybody's welcome. And I'm just going to try to lead with consistency, and hope that, because I think that we can't get discouraged. If we're consistent and we're doing the right thing, we'll build on that. So that'll conclude my report. And now we'll go to our district manager report. Angel, the floor is yours.
Thanks. Good evening, everyone. So you've all received my written report. I'll just highlight one thing because I think we're running a little long. A couple of the speakers have referenced the groundbreaking that was held on the 18th, that the mayor and a number of other dignitaries attended, and that they get all the attention, which is lovely. But many of those people on that stage, I was commenting to them and Jose while we were watching while we were watching the proceedings. Most of those people had nothing to do with this project. Who did have a lot to do with this project is Community Board 11. Community Board 11, from my perspective, when I started working for you guys, back in the ancient times, has been working on proposals for rejuvenating Park Avenue for many years, as spelled out in lush detail in the board's 2012 rezoning recommendations that were submitted to then Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Subsequent to that, the Community Board was an active participant in the crafting of the East Harlem Neighborhood Plan, which identified 4 publicly owned sites, including this one, for just this very kind of development. These were at the push of the Community Board. That nobody can tell y'all different. That is a fact. Subsequent to the neighborhood plan and the rezoning in 2017, then there was a call by this body being very adamant that HPD issue an RFP that included very detailed metrics for any proposals that they would receive for the development of these sites. And then these were encapsulated in a resolution, a very detailed resolution submitted by this body and attached to that RFP, which if you compare the development that's going to go up on 118th Street and the development that's going to go up on 120th Street at the site of the current multi-service center, you'll see just how much this community board informed the development of those 2 sites. Informed by this community board, at the request of this community, who provided their detailed input that we then documented and submitted to our sister agencies, that resulted in these projects. I say all that to say you should be proud of this. Community Board 11 should be proud of this, and whoever's attending this should be aware that the Community Board does listen, the Community Board does act, and the Community Board does get results. we're going to have 341 new families or households living across the street from the community board, not including the families that are going to live in the future at the multi-service center. That's all a result of the work of this body. I hope that encourages our current members who weren't here in 2012 or 16 or 17 or 18 to do that similar kind of work, proactive, engaged, persistent work that results in projects. Sometimes things take a while, but those years are all past, and in a year or two, we will have all these new neighbors, all this new housing that we should be very proud of, and including the new cultural center that will hopefully bring a lot of joy and attention and light to this corridor on Park Avenue. And that's, the other thing I'm going to say besides that, what I consider a joyous note, many times in these meetings, folks are encouraged to put this in the chat. This community board, when we went to Zoom, directed the office to disable the chat, so attendees cannot put things in the chat, yet we keep asking them to. I'll just remind you, the body asked for the chat to be disabled because of abuse. Those of you that have been around for a couple of years or remember the halcyon days of the pandemic will remember just how much abuse you were subjected to during that time, and that you asked for that to be disabled. If I'm directed to, enable it again, I'll do so. But just wanted to remind folks, because maybe you might have forgotten, and people might be frustrated that have been trying to put things in the chat and aren't able. That's why. It's because it was disabled for those reasons at the direction of the body. Anyone that's an attendee that wishes to share information on events or just to contact the office is encouraged to email the office at mn11 at cb.nyc.gov, and we'll review your flyers, and most of the time we post them up on our calendar, or we include them in our newsletter. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Angel, and I'll take the blame tonight for that last part. I'll remember that. It's sometimes a lot to remember, but moving forward, I won't say that. Thank you. All right, we'll go to our vice chair report. Jose.
Good to see you all. My vice chair report is going to be different as always. First of all, I'd like to say Ramadan, I'd observed Ramadan, and I know that we have many.
I'm not able to hear you properly, Jose.
That's what I thought. Hold on for a second.
Is it just me?
It could be more. Let's see if this is
I
better.
we hear you. No, I can't hear him either.
Do you hear me
I
now?
can hear you now, Jose.
I can hear you now. Perfect. Give me 1 second. Turn on the camera on this side. All right, mi gente. Great to see you all. My vice chair report is going to be a little different. First of all, I want to say Ramadan Mubarak. I have many drivers that are observing Ramadan this month, and I know that we have many people in our community that observe Ramadan. We wanted to focus on you actually for my vice chair report. We value your time, your participation. If you're on this board, you're choosing to give your time to help this community. We do want to request more of you, though. We would like more participation. We would like you to engage more, not just within the committee with full board, but particularly in committee. We want to start there. I would like to see, just because you're a committee member doesn't mean that you can't reach out to your committee chair about agenda items, things that are concerning. I think that we want everyone in a committee to be more inclusive, just to kind of have more of a flow. As of now, a lot of it will depend on the chair, which won't change completely, but I will tell you that chair will be very helpful for any chair, and they'll receive it positively for anything that is brought to them that makes sense within that committee. To this point, board oversight was unable to meet last month because of the snowstorm. It almost caught us this month, but we will be meeting in 2 days or so. And part of that, it will be quarterly reviews of not just the committee chairs, but the members of the committee. We just want to have you guys engaging more. And you'll see that coming in March when we start rolling that out. Also, I wanted to talk to you about to make sure that everyone is looking at their agendas for their committees, for the full board. We've heard a couple of times, I've heard different members saying like, I don't know what's going on. And I just want you to know, like, all this information is being sent to you. So it really, it's not so much a reflection of the chair of that committee or the chair of the full board. It's more a reflection on you because this information is sent to you a few days in advance. So please make sure that you're going through that information so that we can participate and just make it a little smoother. Also, we took a look at certain other things. Our attendance, for instance, has been done wrong for quite some time. The language is that you need to attend 2/3 of the meetings within the 6-month meeting, which means that you should have been in 4 meetings. So if you have 3 absences, there's no way you can ever reach the 4th meeting. We've been doing 4 absences. So just to be clear for everyone, we're not going to start this right away, but in an instance of 6 months period, you need to have attended 4 meetings. And just to break it down a little more, in terms of your committee, it's aggregated. So you have 12 meetings. So you need to have at least 8. And that includes both. Or if you have more than 2, it continues to be in that manner, right? So as long as you meet 2/3 of all your committee meetings, let's say you're doing 8, 6, and 2, then you're still good. All right, now for full board, it's separate. So you need to be in 4 out of the last 6. In our bylaws, it's very arbitrary, the language, and talks about in regards to this, it says any 6 months period. It's something that we're looking to change, and we're going to look at executive. We don't think it's fair for the board that it says any 6 months. We could go back a year ago, technically, and say you missed that. No, I think, we're going to do it in a very fair model. And so that's one of the things that we'll be looking to change in terms of bylaws. So just to make sure, once you reach the 3 period, if you've missed 3, or if you haven't reached the 2/3 of your full committees, then you'll probably be called in. Another thing that I want to make clear to everyone, right now, the way our bylaw stands, if you're late, if you are more than 30 minutes late and you are not there for the final roll call, technically you're absent. So if you come in an hour late, or let's say you're on time, but you leave before the final roll call, it's technically an absence. So this is something that want you to be aware of. It's in the bylaws. We'll be looking at the bylaws and speaking about that. Again, our objective isn't to remove people. It's just to make you aware and make sure that so no one falls into this situation. But I want to thank you all, and I appreciate you all for your time, for your volunteering. We're all here at our discretion, and we wanted to tell you that we appreciate the work that you do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jose. We're going, all right, Malik, you have a hand? Go ahead.
Yes, I just have a question just for more clarity. You said in the 6 month, and then you said 12. We actually have 10 meetings for the year. So what does that translate to as far as attendance is concerned?
Well, right now, we're going to go with the preceding 6-month period. So it will just be 2/3 of those 6 months. So if there were no meetings in the summer and those 2 months were included in, we'll just go 2/3 of whatever number of full board meetings there were in a 6-month period. So don't hold me to this, but let's say July and August, we don't meet. September, October, November, and December, right? That's 6 months. There should have been 4 full board meetings. Then you'd have to have been to 3 out of 4 of those board meetings. Again, we're looking at kind of fixing all of this because there is just a lot of little nuances and confusion. Like Jose said, when he said the year thing, we're saying essentially right now, the way these bylaws are written is it says any 6-month period. Based on that, you could, and we're not going to do that, just so we're clear, but you could go back 3 years ago and go to somebody, oh, you missed the meetings then. That's absolutely ridiculous, but that's what they say. It's going to be the most recent 6 months. So if it's in January, we're reviewing attendance, it would be from whatever up to December and 6 months prior, whatever the number of meetings were. So it's 2/3 of whatever the aggregate amount of committee meetings you had in that period, and then separately the aggregate amount of full board meetings. And you have to be in good standing on both of those, or you will get called in. Board oversight is going to start to look at all of this, put it in, kind of formulate it. Executive will do the bylaws portion of that when it comes to that. I've been promising Angel. I've been working just on the language stuff, just so we have something to start to talk about. My hope is that our next executive meeting, which would be in March, we'd dedicate a large portion of that meeting to talking about those things, and I will do my best to have that in advance so everybody can share it. But things are not super clear. We're doing our best to clear them up. If you have any questions or you're not sure what your standing is, we're here to answer them. And then last thing, we're not trying to be penal here. So if we've been doing it wrong, we're going to give a leeway into when we're doing it right. So my idea was starting March, we'd give a 3-month potential window to let people fall into compliance, even though we just haven't been doing it right. And again, we might also change things. So we're going to see, we're going to be fair. You're going to know where you stand, and we're going to be extra careful that we do this right. So I just want you to all know you can reach out to us, but we're doing our best to try to make no mistakes with this. So thank you for the question, Malik. With that said, we're going to go to our secretary's report. Rosa, do you have one? You always have one. I know. Go ahead. Sorry.
Good evening. I don't want to repeat everything the chair and vice chair have already said, but I am available. Anyone wants to know their attendance, please let me know. And also to let everyone know, even if you come 15 to 30 minutes, that's still late. And I personally, when it comes to like your committee meetings, we have like a 15 minutes grace period. And if you're not there within that 15 minutes, then you don't meet quorum and then the meeting cannot go on. So please be respectful, come to your committees on time, come to full board on time. Thank you to the technology of the open meetings law that we're able to have our meetings on Zoom, but please be respectful and also not just turn on your camera, but actually be present and engage. My email, as always, is secretary@cb11msmary.org. I am available. I answer every single email, every single text. Let me know. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosa. All right, Derek, I believe you have a treasurer's report.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Good evening, everyone. So I have an update on our other than personnel services spending since our last meeting. Our sort of regular amounts are for security, our AT&T wireless, and our water services. We also paid our December and January cleaning bill and our Airtable. And then in terms of non-regular amounts, we paid our contribution for the East Harlem holiday tree, our contribution of $500. And then we made purchases for the office in the total amount of $279.31, which included cleaning supplies, cutlery set, and other items of that sort. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Do we have any questions for our treasurer? I should ask that for all of them, but sometimes that's a popular report, so thank you. All right, with that said, that concludes our report, our officer and district manager report. So we're now going to move on to our committee reports. Oh, okay, Chancellor, sorry. Go ahead, you're recognized.
It's fine. Just for clarity, Derek, could you, since I'm newer, how much is allowed for each committee? I know in the last committee I was in, it wasn't clear. Some says 500, so just wanted to be clear, and it helps for later on down as well. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks for the question. So we plan for $500 sort of per committee. Of course, then that's dependent on what that committee puts together, what they propose, and then in the end, it's approved by the full board. But that's sort of how we try to organize things.
Thank you. I was right. This is a popular report. Go ahead, Vinny.
Thank you, Chair. So that's $500 for each committee for the whole year, or is that like biannually or monthly? Because $500 for the whole year, I mean.
Sure. So yeah, $500 for the fiscal year, and the purpose of that is so the committee can put on some sort of community engagement type event.
I'm just going to add into, since this has become a topic of interest. If you're a committee chair, your committee, and you're not going to use the money during the year, you have the ability to allocate it to another committee. When I used to chair licenses and permits, I couldn't really think of a way to use that money for us. So I would usually give it to another committee. So if you're not planning on anything, and another committee's doing a great event like Earth Day or a job fair, support it. And with that said, this new Manhattan Borough President has been very active in asking the board chair, and I believe our district manager, about what other funding do we need. And I will say that at Borough Board and in the survey I filled out, I actually pushed specifically for more money for this very purpose, and I will continue to do that. With that said, then let's have great events and stuff, so it gives me something to really advocate for. If I'm asking and we're using it, great. But if I'm asking and they give it and then we don't use it, not so great. But so that's it. So, all right. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you, Vinny. And now we're going to move to our committee reports and action items. I'll go quickly through some ground rules. No one may speak until granted the floor. Board members, if you have a question about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. The chat should not be used for business or questions about agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record when recognized. Please keep your questions and comments brief and on topic to the discussion. Votes will be conducted by roll call. We are already at 2 hours, so for the sake of time, if it's just for informational purposes, hit one or two of your highlights. This is what minutes are for, so we're looking forward to robust minutes. So with that said, we'll go to housing first. Nilsa, the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you, Chair. We have minutes on the community board website and was sent to everyone, or they should have it. So my minutes are going to be for informational purposes only. Thank you, Beverly, for such robust minutes. I just wanted to mention that as a pre-ULURP presentation, 22 East 119 came and they gave us a presentation on their proposed project. And as part of that meeting, Beverly Pavone collated information regarding the points of agreement and how that would, the expectation from the points of agreement side on this project. For more information and for an in-depth presentation, please, I urge you to look at our meeting so that you can get more familiar on these projects. And with that, I'll let it go, Chair.
Thank you so much, Nilsa. All right, we will move to licenses and permits. Anne Marie, the floor is.
Okay, here we go. Segoy Ramen and Azakaya LLC, a new application for wine, beer, and cider license for a restaurant located at 1621 Lexington Avenue, New York, 10029 on 102nd Street. The committee recommends that this application be approved. Casa Ricardo Inc., new application for a full liquor license for a restaurant located at 2145 2nd Avenue, New York, 10029 on 110th Street. The committee recommends that this application be approved. Bar Barrio LLC, new application for full liquor license for a restaurant located at 2262 First Avenue, New York, 10035 on 116th Street. The committee recommends that this application be approved. Catrina Mexicana Inc., doing business as Catrina Mexicana Inc., class change application for full liquor license, number 6029629 for a restaurant located at 163rd East 116th Street, New York, New York, 10029. On 116th Street, the committee recommends that this application be approved. Legends Boathouse LLC, application for full liquor license. Sorry, I lost here. Number 034024122385 for a restaurant located at East 72nd Street and Park Drive, Central Park Lake, New York, New York, 10021, Central Park. And as there are no changes to previously supported methods of operation, this item is approved administratively by the district manager and the chair of the License and Permits Committee. No vote is required for this one. El Nuevo Caribeño Inc., doing business as El Nuevo Caribeño Restaurant, renewal application for full liquor license, number 034022113759, for a restaurant located at 1675 Lexington Avenue, New York, New York, 10029 on 105th Street. There are no changes to previously supported methods of operation. This item is approved administratively by the district manager and the chair of the License and Permits Committee. No vote is required. Museum of the City of New York, Inc., doing business as Museum of the City of New York, renewal application for full liquor license, number 1308163/034022109464 for a restaurant located at 1220 Fifth Avenue, New York, New York, 10029 on 104th Street. No changes previously supported methods of operation. This item is approved administratively by the district manager and the chair of the License and Permits Committee, so no vote is required. 116th Street Festival. It's a street festival, June 12th, 2026. Located on 3rd Avenue between East 106th Street and East 122nd Street. And the second location is East 116th Street between Lexington Avenue and 2nd Avenue. So full street closure. And the committee recommend that this application be approved. Museum Mount Festival, street event, June 9th, 2026. Location is 5th Avenue between 79th Street and 80th Street, a full street closure. And the committee recommends that this application be approved. Mount Sinai Green Market Wednesday, Farmers Market, Wednesday, June 17, 2026 to November 25, 2026. Locations Madison Avenue between 98th Street and 99th Street. Is a sidewalk and curb lane closure, and the committee recommends that this application be approved. 111th Street Old Timers Day, Single Block Festival, July 12, 2026. Location is East 111th Street between Madison Avenue and 5th Avenue, full street closure. Committee recommends that this application be approved. Festival del Barrio, Single Block Festival, August 29, 2026. Location is East 116th Street between 2nd Avenue and 3rd Avenue, full street closure. Committee recommends that this application be approved. Hispanic Heritage Festival, Single Block Festival, September 13, 2026. Location is East 116th Street between 3rd Avenue and 2nd Avenue, full street closure. The committee recommends that this be denied. Open Streets, Summer Streets, Manhattan number 1, street event, August 1st, 2026. 4 locations, so it's Park Avenue between East 42nd Street and East 110th Street. Second location, East 110th Street between Park Avenue and Broadway. Third location, East 109th Street between Park Avenue and Lexington. Fourth location, East 109th Street between Madison Avenue and Park Avenue. Full street closure. Committee recommends that this application be approved. Open Street, Summer Streets, Manhattan number 2.
Anne Marie, do you mind if I just interrupt you? The 14, 15, and 16 are essentially the same exact thing for the different on different dates. So if you just want to read the name in and the date and just say it's the same for both. So and then that'll save us some time.
All right. So then Open Streets for August 1st, August 8th, August 15th, same locations.
That's perfect.
Yeah, okay. So the committee recommends that this application be approved, and I'm done.
Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of questions. Last time we had a long session. This time I sent you all the agenda directly, invited you to the meeting. So I see one hand up. So Beverly, you're recognized, and then we'll see if we could take a vote on this.
Yes, thank you, Chair. My question is regarding 14, 15, and 16. 110th Street between Park Avenue all the way to the west side of Broadway. That's how I'm understanding second locations?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay, because I'm like, East Harlem don't have a Broadway. Okay, thank you.
Just so you know, on these things, as long as it touches on the community, then it'll be all the boards that it was a part of. That's sometimes why you'll see like a liquor license for Central Park, because it's all the bordering ones, so it's the same with street activities. But good question. Thank you. All right, with that said,
Can I just say something real quick, Adam?
yeah,
I'm
of
sorry.
course, of course. Go
There
ahead.
was only one denial, and that was because paperwork was submitted late. That's all.
Thank you so much. And that reminds me, we've been including now the resolutions and the reasons things, the liquor license were not approved. And so you all had that in your board materials. I'm going to take one last question. Please keep it brief, Sage.
I was gonna move to bundle and approve the committee's recommendations unless anybody has any objections.
No,
Candy,
Candy, I see your hand up. Was that to make a motion or you have a question?
Second.
Oh, it's a second. Okay. So then Sage, correct me if I'm wrong. Sage, you have made a motion to bundle items 1 through 16. You made a motion to approve, and Candy, you are seconding that?
Yes.
Okay. Angel or Rosa, can you please take the roll?
I'm sorry, Rose, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Before we take the roll, it's items 1 through 4 and 8 through 16. There's no vote required for 5, 6, and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, because I think on the committee, we still take a vote on them.
Oh, you don't need to.
I'm sorry, may I interrupt?
Yep.
Yeah, for the administrative approval ones, like Angel was saying, the committee did not take a vote.
Okay, thank you then. All right, so then do 1 to, what is it? 1 to 4 and 8 to 16. So Sage, can you remake the motion just to say 1 to 4 and 8 to 16?
Move to approve the committee's recommendations, which is everything they voted on items 1 through 4, and bundle items 1 through 4, and was it 8 through 16?
Thank you. And then Candy, I assume you're seconding that?
second.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, Angel, just so I don't leave it up for interpretation, can you please take a roll call vote on it?
Sure.
Yes.
Fernando Alvarez?
I vote yes to approve the
I
committee.
swear they made us take a vote of committee.
Okay, can everybody mute it unless you're voting? Thank you, Fernando. Adembria?
Yes.
Marie Charles? Marie Charles?
Present.
No. We're asking whether you're a yes or a no on this item.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear.
What is your vote?
Yes.
Thank you. Leslie Colon?
Yes.
Carlos Diaz?
Yes.
Rosa Diaz?
Yes.
Jessica Elliott?
Yes.
David Giordano?
Yes.
Ada Jazari?
Yes.
James Gray?
Yeah.
John Green? Chancellor Craig?
Yes.
Wanda Hopkins? Wanda Hopkins? Keoka Jackson? Keoka?
Yes.
Thank you. Christina Johnson?
Yes.
Jewel Jones? Jewel Jones? It was muffled. Is that you, Jewel? Were you a yes?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
James Kemp?
Yes.
Sage Mason?
Yeah.
Malik McCullough?
Yes.
Jennifer Meyer?
Yes.
Jessica Morris is Nilsa Orama?
Yes.
Beverly Pavon?
Yes.
Beverly Pavon? Samantha Pedrero?
Yes.
Tanya Phelps? Tanya Phelps?
I'm
Valerie?
here. Sorry, I couldn't get to the mic. I'm here.
That's all right.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
yes. Thank you, Tanya. Valerie Ponte. Asher Rodriguez.
Yes.
Don Sanders.
Yes.
Xavier Santiago.
Yes.
Janal Satija. Is absent. Russell Schuler.
Yes.
Loretta So.
Yes.
Derek Stampone.
Yes.
Benny Torres.
Yeah, buddy.
We're going to unmute you. Anne-Marie Vasquez.
Yes.
You said?
Jason Villanueva.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very good. Candy Vivas Vasquez.
Yes.
Nye Whitaker. And Agatha White.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion carries.
All right, thank you, Angel. Thank you, Anne Marie. We're going to move to Environment, Open Space and Parks. Rosa, you're recognized.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I was looking for the mute button. Unmute button, I mean. We just had one action item. One of our members, Chancellor Gregg, made a motion to use the available Environment Open Space and Parks Committee funds towards the Earth Day Conference of 2026 event. The motion was seconded by Debbie Quinones and it passed unanimously. Can I also say something for information only?
Of course.
Thank you, Chair. We are having our annual, well, biannual community gardens tours, and we will be going to community gardens on the weekends. We are going to start May 30th. Next month, we should be able to plan to start May 30th again with 1 or 2 Sundays. Everyone is welcome. Once the flyer is out, it will be sent out in multiple languages, so you guys can join us. Thank you.
All right, thank you again, Rosa. I'm just going to read the motion again into the record. So Chancellor Gregg made a motion to use available Environment, Open Space and Parks Committee funds towards the Earth Day 2026 event. The motion was seconded by Debbie Quinones and passed unanimously. Is there any debate on the matter? Okay, seeing no debate, then the debate on that is closed. Being that this is a main motion from the committee, it does not require a motion here or a second. So Angel, you please could take the roll.
Angel?
Angel,
Are you there?
are you there?
Yeah, can I ask a quick question?
Go ahead, Beverly.
You are y'all gonna donate the whole $500 or just a portion of that? Or do y'all have to decide that now?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
Thank you.
Carlos,
Yeah,
somebody's got background noise. I don't know who it
Carlos,
is.
please mute yourself. It's
Yeah,
Carlos.
please, Carlos.
Beverly, we only have $500. That's like nothing. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Beverly. Thank you, Rosa. Angel, can you please take the roll?
Sure.
Thank you.
Jose Altamirano.
Yes.
Fernando Alvarez.
Yes.
Dan Brija.
Yes.
Marie Charles.
Yes.
Carlos Diaz.
Yes.
Rosa Diaz.
Yes.
Jessica Elliott.
Yes.
David Giordano.
Yes.
Ada Jazari.
Yes.
James Gray.
Yes.
Chancellor Gregg.
Yes.
Keoka Jackson.
Yes.
Christina Johnson.
Yes.
Jewel Jones.
Yes.
James Kemp.
Yes.
Sage Mason,
Yes.
Malik McCullough,
Yes.
Jennifer Meyer,
Yes.
Nelson Rama,
Yes.
Beverly Pabon,
Yes.
Samantha Pedredo,
Yes.
Tanya Phelps,
Yes.
Nacho Rodriguez,
Yes.
Dawn Sanders,
Yes.
Xavier Santiago,
Yes.
Russell Schuler,
Yes.
Loretta So,
Yes.
Derek Stampone,
Yes.
Benny Torres,
Yeah, buddy.
Emery Vasquez,
Yes.
Candy Rivas
Yes.
Vasquez,
Yes.
good Lord, Agatha White.
Yes.
The motion carries. Thank you all.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Rosa. With that said,
Yeah,
we'll move.
yes for Villanueva. Yes.
Oh,
Thank you,
yes.
Jason.
I forgot the most important person on the list. Jason
That's right.
Villanueva.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, boy.
Sorry about that, buddy.
I wasn't
Thank-
asked either.
Well, is it a yes, Leslie?
Of course.
Okay, but thank you for saying that. It's a little difficult remotely. I'm getting, we haven't done them.
Totally
Yet, but-
skipped over me. He went from Charles to Diaz.
all right, well, apologies, but thank you. With that said, we're going to move to Human Services. Jewel,
Thank you.
the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. The minutes are for informational purposes only. I do want to highlight two things, one of which was highlighted by our chair as it relates to human services. We are looking at the moratorium, and we will look at the edits that have been made and finalize that document to then be presented to the full board. I do want to also highlight the fact that our committee is tasked with discussing the cabs in the area, and I sent out information as it relates to Henry J. Carter and their legislative breakfast, which was this past Friday on the 20th. And thanks to all of the board members that came out to that legislative function. If you all want to just raise your hands, feel free to do so. But thank you. And I also, yes, thank you, everyone. And also, I did say that Bellevue is having their legislative breakfast on this Friday, the 27th. And Metropolitan Hospital is having their legislative breakfast on Thursday, May 5th at Metropolitan Hospital, but actually at Draper Hall.
March.
So please come out.
March.
Say again. What did I say?
You said May, March.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, March. Thank you. Elsa, thank you, everybody. Yeah, March 5th. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Jewel. All right, I don't see any hands, so we will move to the Youth and Education Committee. Asher, you are recognized.
All right, I'm gonna try to keep this as quick as I can. So we had two presentations this month. One was from Patrick Henry Preparatory. They came and presented about some of the funding that they are applying for. There was some questions during executive, just to maybe put in the letter exactly what funding sources they are applying from. That was added to the full board meeting materials, if I'm correct to them. So all of that is now in there. So
Yep.
If anyone has any questions about it, you have the opportunity to look at that. And we also had Nightingale Bamford School come, which was thank you to the other full board members who aren't on the committee who came. Appreciated your dialogue. I will just say the conversation, and I'm only gonna say this because as the chair of the committee, I would like to acknowledge that the conversation did get a little bit heated at times. And it was mostly because it's a very passionate subject, and everyone there really wanted to make sure that that our kids in this community get access to an amazing opportunity. So those conversations will be ongoing with Nightingale about it. And we only have, oh wait, sorry, one more thing. Kiera, one of our public members, presented the idea that we will be working on writing workshops within the community to basically incorporate into a youth and education newsletter that we are currently creating, and if any full board members have any suggestions about that or any reaching out opportunities, I appreciate that. And the Nightingale Bamford School, just to go back to that quickly, David, I'm getting to it. They are building a sports complex on 108th Street. I realize I probably should have mentioned that from the beginning. So, any questions? Or wait, should I read the motion first and go to questions?
No, you could go questions first and then yeah. Okay, I don't see any. You want to read the motion after?
Yeah.
I would just say, what is the sport complex? You know, how many floors, how many gyms, yada, yada, yada. It's 5 gyms in the building, 3 floors. Go ahead, Ash.
All right. Dem, can I go into that quickly?
Of course.
All right. I just don't want to go over time. So, Nightingale Bamford School is an all-girls private school that they're located on 92nd Street. They have acquired land on sorry, y'all, on 108th Street between 3rd and Lexington. I'm trying to turn off my ringer. They are building a 3-story sports complex for their school specifically. Something that was brought up was they have 50, I think it was about 50 million in private funds that they raised up, and then about 40 million, I think, someone correct me if I'm wrong, in public funds. So something that was brought up during the meeting is if they're using public funds, they should give access to the community to use it.
Asher, I'll, if you don't mind, because you said to correct you. I'm not 100% sure. It might not be public funds. I'd have to look more. From my understanding, it is possible that it's from Economic Development Corporation that is not a city agency, but it kind of works in conjunction with the city, and it actually raises private funds. But with that said, those private funds are used and it allows the school to borrow money. They're tax exempt and they're very low interest. So while it's not government money, there's potential, and if I'm correct, to save millions and millions of dollars in interest, say over 30 years. So I could be wrong. That is possibly what it is if it's not public funds. So
That just also adds on to the fact that it's a continual conversation because that information was just presented to us at the last youth and education meeting. So I will be looking into that. Adem will be helping me look into that. So I see there is now a question. So there's 2 questions, Adem.
yep, Agata and then Christina.
It's not a question about what you said, but thank you for sharing, Asher. It's just a suggestion about the motion moving forward, because each one of them take about 5 minutes when Angel is calling their name. So I was just going to suggest if the people that are going to say no to raise their hand. I don't know if that's possible or by law he has to call the name each and every time. If you want to share me.
Yeah, because it's remote, and sometimes, as you saw last month, it might take just as much time. We don't want to make a mistake. At full boards, we're going to do acclamation when they're pretty straightforward. Hopefully,
Mhm.
this is the last time we'll do this virtually at a full board. And we only have one more motion this evening, so I appreciate that, and you're correct, but I think we'll just stay consistent for tonight, but we can take everything into consideration moving forward. So, but thank you for that. Christina?
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Adem. Actually, there was really a good meeting last week. I did attend your meeting for the first time in a long time, and I enjoyed it. But there was an issue about Nightingale giving back something to the community for the use of the land in East Harlem. Have you guys come up with anything yet as to what your asks are going to be for that?
Those talks, Adem can add on. Those talks are still in the beginning stages after that meeting last week. I have reached out to Nightingale for them to come back next month. I have also reached out to Assemblyman Gibbs' office, so that way, because one of his staff members was on the meeting, and I am going to be inviting him to come speak to us, but also and see Adem and I are working out how that meeting could be open to anyone who would like to join. because I have always said I don't want it just to be a meeting with me and someone else. I would like to make it open to everyone.
Right. So I kind of think, and this is just a suggestion, that maybe you should have some sort of idea or some kind of list of things that you want them to give you so that when you go into this meeting, you're not going in blind. You have some idea of what your community needs and the kinds of things you would like for your kids to be able to have access to.
Well, that's what I feel like that's what we're working on, and that conversation was started at last week's meeting.
Right.
It's I'm not I would just I'm like I like to say I'm not trying to go into any meetings blind. It's just gonna take time to collect that information because I have a certain number of people on that committee, but I also want to make sure that I'm asking schools and stuff. Full transparency, I have spoken to the superintendent, so that will be another conversation about. I asked her, she just actually just sent me over the other day the number of schools in East Harlem and how big their gyms are, if they have a gym at all. Is it a
Right.
competition regulated gym? So I will be sending out that information. I would like to compile it and make sure that it's in like a clear to read format. I don't want to just spam full board members with a whole bunch of like unorganized data. So just give me a couple of days to get together, please.
All
Um,
right. I'm looking forward to your next meeting. Thank
uh,
you.
thank you.
Again,
And I
may
just
I
want to
just
say,
add something? I'm sorry. I
no,
think
no, go.
in all fairness, the understanding was is that this was being built with their own funding and not any kind of other subsidy kinds of conditions. And we had just learned during the meeting that conditions of community were to be provided and they were not provided. And I think we're still gathering the information we need to understand what and how far our ask can be and understanding what are the requirements of receiving this funding and or loan. And so we're still trying to gather all the information. And I think once we do, we will be very clear of the ask that we will ask as we do in any project that comes before. And I just want to highlight, Angel talked about the two project earlier, and this is an example of really working to determine what's best for the community and making sure that we have all the information that are the requirements both for them and what we can do and what we can ask. Thank you. Sorry, Adem.
I saw someone in the chat asking for voting on this tonight. It's not on the agenda to vote tonight. But I would like to open up as these are continued conversations going on, like especially next month, I have invited them back. If anyone can, thank you, Christina, for being there. I would encourage you to come. I especially encourage you to come in person because they came in person and I think I know not everyone can come in person, time constraints and stuff, but I do always encourage people to come in person because I feel like having a face-to-face conversation, especially in situations like these, is a lot better than a screen-to-face conversation. I always think that that's a better way to communicate. So, yeah.
And Deb, I know I'm going to drive you crazy, but just in all fairness, we had one of our really predominant schools in this community that's asking for funding to expand the classroom into a health area. And then we have another school coming who's coming with 6 different kinds of areas and a 1,500-foot first floor soccer field. So the comparison of what our ask is, and I think Ash is beginning that process by finding in our schools who has actually a gym. So in PS 72, where I and Asha and Mr. Alvarez work, Fernando, we have a gym that's 2 classrooms that they broke a wall through, that the ceiling is 14 feet high. So the parity is really clear that we make sure that there are given things to this community where we do not have the resources. That's my piece.
And I would just add one more thing. This is this is gonna, yes, this has predominantly came to youth and education, but this is also what we're talking about, like intercommittee work. There's a lot of stuff within this that, I think we're all gonna have to work together. I think it's gonna touch everyone on this board some way, somehow within your committee at some point. Because it's a land use thing. It's a transportation thing because people were talking about the parking on the street. So I think just this will be a continual conversation, and I'm not necessarily trying to cut it off right now, but I think that this is the start of something, and I think that once again, I encourage everyone to please come join the conversation.
Okay, thank you, Asher. And I believe part of what there might be required to have submitted to get approved was a shared use plan. I don't know if that was mentioned. And so I think we're interested in also seeing what the idea. I had asked some questions that they never really got around to answering that would have had them list out their commitments. And I mean, and my strategy when negotiating is to not go first, right? So we should be prepared, but we should kind of hear what they have to offer as a starting point. I do see in the chat, because I want to really wrap this up, there was a motion on this made at committee, and I see there might be some confusion about why it's not on here tonight. So I'm just going to explain why. The motion was a matter that the committee wishes to follow up on, and that does not require the board to take action on. All right, I reached out to Angel for that clarity because I myself was a little bit confused. So if you don't see it on, that's because it's going to be followed up by the committee, depending on the compliance of what that motion was. So if you're interested in that motion, you can go look at the Youth and Education Committee minutes. With that said, Asher, if you don't mind reading the motion we are voting on tonight into the record.
Yes. A motion. Let me just move the screen. A motion to write a letter of support for PS 171 Patrick Henry Prep in seeking funding for health initiatives as presented was made by David Giordano, second by Tanya Phelps, and passed unanimously. So this is the letter that I referred. That was just that it was edited a little bit and it was added to the full board.
Yes. Yep. And I know you, to confirm, Marlene did add all those details in that we had asked for, including the amounts, what they were asking for. So that was shared in advance in the board materials. So I'll just read it again for protocol. A motion to write a letter of support for PS 171 Patrick Henry Prep and seeking funding for health initiatives as presented, made by David Giordano, seconded by Tanya Phelps, and passed unanimously. Is there any debate on the matter? Nope. Okay. Since this is a main motion from the committee, it does not require a motion or a second here. Angel, could you, Carlos, I see your hand.
Yeah, motion it.
No, there, you don't, Carlos, there's no need, when
Letter support.
Yeah, we don't need a motion, at full board for this. The motion, the second are from the committee. It's, I know we
That's
used to
fine.
do it
Thank
different. Thank you. All right, Angel, can you take the roll?
Sure. So just two things on the slide. It says incorrectly number 15. That's my mistake. This is actually item number 18. And all votes, as Adem was explaining, when we're having remote meetings, have to be by roll call. So just bear with us as we call out your names.
I'm sorry.
This protects the body from any lawsuit about the board not complying with open meetings law. Jose Altamirano?
Yes.
Fernando Alvarez?
Yes.
Adem Brija?
Yes.
Marie Charles?
Yes.
Leslie Colon?
Yes.
Carlos Diaz?
Yes.
Rosa Diaz?
Yes.
Jessica Elliott?
Yes.
David Giordano?
Yes.
Ada Jazari?
Yes.
James Gray?
Yes.
John Green is absent. Chancellor Gregg?
Yes.
Wanda Hopkins? Wanda Hopkins? Keoka Jackson?
Yes.
Christina Johnson? Christina Johnson?
Yes, yes, sorry. Thought you heard me.
Thank you. You're welcome. Jewel Jones?
Yes.
James Kemp?
Yes.
Sage Mason?
Yes.
Malik McCullough?
Yes.
Jennifer Meyer?
Yes.
Lost my place. Jessica Morris is absent. Nosa Rama?
Yes.
Beverly Pabon? Beverly Pabon?
Yes.
Thank you. Samantha Pedrero?
Yes.
Tanya Phelps?
Yes.
Valerie Ponte is absent. Asher Rodriguez?
Yes.
Dawn Sanders?
I have to abstain. It sounds great, but I don't see any. I don't have any anything in my records.
Okay. Got it. Xavier Santiago,
Yes.
Janelle Satija is absent. Russell Schuler,
Yes.
Loretta So,
Yes.
Derek Stampone,
Present, not voting.
present not voting. Vinny Torres,
Yes.
Anne-Marie Vasquez,
Yes.
Jason Villanueva,
Yes.
Candy Vasquez,
Yes.
Knight Whitaker is absent. Agatha White.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Asher. Thank you, Angel. We'll go to land use, landmarks, and planning. There was not a meeting this month. With that said, Jason, is there anything you'd like to say or share?
Just a brief update. This month we walked VOA space. They're gonna come up with a land use application possibly in March. So just keep up to speed. And if any questions, please reach out. Thank you. Enjoy your
Thank you, Jason. All right, we're going to go to public safety and transportation.
We had a very good meeting. We had a presentation from the MTA regarding the Second Avenue subway. While this seems a very distant future, it is happening now. We will share this presentation with the board so everyone is informed. As you know, a few months ago, we went into the tunnel before their next phase of construction is going through. Right now, they're clearing everything out. We asked about their boring machine. As most of you know, that there is now a push in Albany, which is something that we requested, where they will be continuing to dig to the west side so that this Second Avenue subway, which we call it, what is it, Q, right? Q will connect to all the trains on the west side. It was very comprehensive. We also had some complaints, which we'll be following up with both in public safety and transportation, but as well as the Second Avenue Subway Task Force. Since they're now doing construction, particularly now on 106th Street near Franklin Plaza, a lot of the small businesses are being covered. The signage is very subpar. This is something that we're going to be engaging them because sometimes the MTA forgets that a few months of covering a small business can be devastating to that small business. So we're going to do everything in our abilities to make sure that these small businesses are not affected by this construction, or at least minimizing that effect. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jose. Seeing no hands, then we will move to executive. I'll keep this real brief. We had a presentation from St. Francis Friends of the Poor on the supportive housing at 2162 3rd Avenue. If you all remember, they came to the housing committee back in September. We brought them back to executive because they had bought the property, and there was a need for them to speak to human services, speak to housing again, even a youth and education component for housing for families. So it made the most sense to bring it there. That's going to be a continuing dialogue. I'm in the process of scheduling 2 walkthroughs of the current supportive housing facility they have in Chelsea. That's been coordinated amongst the executive committee, but if any of you are interested in attending one of those walkthroughs, reach out to me and I'd be glad to have you join us. And then we had another presentation from ACMH for transitional supportive housing for adults 18 and older with mental illness disorders. This might be another one of those as of right, they're just coming to notify the board, but it isn't happening, at least as I know, anytime soon. I don't even think the state has done the funding for it yet, but this is something I think housing should take over and talk about from there. And that's it from executive. So we will move on to economic development and culture. Xavier.
Thank you, Chair. I'll keep it very brief. No action items. We are working on, excuse me, I have a bad head cold. We are working on the jobs fair and actually outreach to all of our economic, like our small businesses and our cultural institutions, to really find out what their issues are. We had a presentation from Union Settlement and Uptown Grand Central as well, that coupled with their survey and addressed the needs of the community and what the challenges are. It was very edifying in the sense that we know that there are issues with the rent, with your consumables such as your electric, your gas, your utilities, and taxes. So these are things that we want to expand and have a greater net that we're going to cast throughout the neighborhood so that we can have a greater understanding of what those challenges are for small businesses and cultural institutions. We pivoted and addressed part of our internal sheet, which will be used for our connection with our small businesses. I implore everyone, it is an internal document, not to be shared, because you may have business owners' personal information, but this is for us to really dig in and find out what their true issues are. It could be simple things such as street cleanliness, right? Picking up after a block party, or more complex, such as the appropriation clause with the commercial lease. We want to know and really ingratiate ourselves within the community and reconnect, just like we did with our housing tours in NYCHA. The other aspect is that when we go to do this outreach, we're going to have a hot sheet, and that's in development, working with Union Settlement, Uptown Grand Central, and that will give a kind of unified list of items that they can just literally with a QR code, or they click on the link and it can take them to what needs they require. So it can help facilitate. So again, it's about us being more connected within the community and being part of the solution. So with that, I will conclude. And anyone who wants to get involved with the job fair, we're very pleased to have Mount Sinai. We have MTA wants to be involved in, Timbali Terrace, who down during his chair report address. So that have a great evening. And yes, Asher, you and I are going to be having a call with the youth portion. Haven't forgotten about it. We just wanted to move things along, and we were just waiting for, thank you for raising your hand to nudge me. We were waiting for the nurses' strike to finish, and now we can start having more holistic conversations. So I'll be reaching out to you as well. So thank you, everyone. If you want to get involved, reach out to me, shoot me an email at ecodev at CB11M.org. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Xavier. All right, seeing no hands, it's not on our agenda. It was left out by accident, but we will go to district needs. Sage, you're recognized. I believe it might have been because there wasn't a meeting, but that could be why.
Yeah. So thank you, Adam. We postponed our meeting until March 2nd so that we had time to review the mayor's preliminary budget. But in the meantime, what would be extremely helpful is that we received all of the agency's responses to all of the requests that we submitted in October. And every committee received feedback on all of the requests that they created. And so we've tasked each committee chair with distributing to their committees those agency responses and getting back to us. So every member of the board should receive communications from their committee chair about what agencies said about their responses. And in March, during your committee meetings or earlier, you should think about the agency responses and get back to your designated, and each committee chair knows who that person is, your designated liaison to the District Needs and Budget Committee with that feedback so that we can incorporate it into our response to the city that we will submit on March 17th. So that's pretty much it. If anybody has questions, they can reach out to me. But every committee chair should be getting in touch with their committees about agency responses. Some responses are really positive, some are frustrating, and it's important for us to communicate that to the city.
Asher?
Hi, I mentioned this during executive, but I just want to say it quickly for full board. I would like as we're doing the committee, like the comments and stuff to different agencies, I just would like for board leadership and also youth and education, because this is also coming from the committee, that some of the responses we get for youth and education are absolutely insane. So I just was hoping we could at some point work on how we can maybe nudge some of these agencies a little bit to give us actual responses about stuff. So yeah, that's it. I just had to make that comment.
Okay, thank you, Asher. Thank you, Sage. That concludes the committee reports for this evening. We're going to go to old business. Board members, if you have any old business to state, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. Okay, Seeing no hands, we will move to new business. Board members, if you have any new business to state, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. Okay, great. Then seeing no new business, we will move to our elected official representatives. Angel, are any of them present? Okay,
remember.
Wendy, you're recognized, and then Malik, you have a hand up. Malik?
Wait.
Okay, Wendy, you're recognized if you're on.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Wendy Hewlett. I'm the Chief of Staff to Assemblyman Gibbs. My office number is 212-828-3953. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. On Wednesday, February 18th, we had our senior Valentine's Day celebration. We served 60 seniors and youth from local after-school programs. The event brought together multiple generations for a day of connection and joy, and we were especially proud to celebrate Miss Dolores' 71st birthday within the community. We had our Black History celebration at El Museo this past Saturday. We featured performances by Tatiana B., Uptown Dance Academy, Nate Lucas and the All-Stars, and Miss Veronica Day and DJ Rabio. The event highlighted culture, history, and artistic excellence within our community. We are still in need of volunteers. We still have our mail on Mondays, and our Friday forums will start within the next few weeks. We have the task force that's launched for re-entering citizens. So next week, we will officially launch our task force for re-entering citizens. We were actually supposed to have a Zoom session yesterday, but due to the blizzard, we decided to reschedule it for Monday, March 3rd. This task force will bring together community stakeholders, advocates, and individuals with lived experience to address barriers facing formerly incarcerated individuals and their families. The focus will include policy advocacy, resource coordination, and community education. I know I heard the chair from education speak about the Nightingale Project. We are currently engaged with NYC Parks regarding the Nightingale Project due to the proposed removal of a tree adjacent to the site. Additionally, there have been questions regarding the project's funding source. While it was previously communicated that the project was not receiving city funds, we have confirmed that the funding has been approved through NYCEDC. We have reached out to both agencies to seek clarification. And actually, Stephanie and I had a call with EDC today, and we're just awaiting additional information because she was not able to answer some of the questions that we had. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Wendy, and thank you so much for sticking with us tonight. Asher, you're recognized. You have a question for Wendy?
Hi, Wendy. So just a question. Is your office also looking into whether community access will be required through those funds?
Yeah.
And that conversation offline also.
Yes.
Okay.
So Ashley, can I reach out to you tomorrow?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Asher. Candy, you're recognized.
Hi, Wendy. Thanks for the presentations and the announcements. But for this re-entering task force, is that going to be an open meeting, a Zoom that is invited to the public, or how this task force is going to be assembled?
Yes. So we reached out to a couple of agencies within the community. And so we heard back from their leaders. So we wanted to have an initial meeting with them just to kind of get an idea on the things or the topics that would be on the table. And then we would be able to open it up to the community.
All right, thank you, Candy. Thank you again, Wendy. With that said, Angel, are there any other representatives from any elected officials still on? I see our council member Encarnacion has their hand up. Council member, you're recognized. And thank you for still being here, by the way.
Of course. I'm so sorry. I know this is cheating by taking up both slots, but I just wanted to announce and to remind people that the applications for 3K and pre-K slots are available and will close on February 27th. So it's important that we get the word out to folks to apply for those seats. And also SYEP is due this week. Thank you, Asher. You read my mind. Just wanted to make sure people are applying. We need those slots and we need to make sure, you know, that people get the information. You can apply at myschools.nyc for the pre-K and 3K slots. That is all. I promise.
Thank you so much, council member. Angel, are there any other representatives on?
No, the others that had registered have left the meeting.
Okay, thank you. And that'll conclude the elected officials representatives portion of the meeting. We will go to announcements. Before I share my announcements, does anyone here have any announcements to share? Rosa, you're recognized, and then Asher.
Thank you. Tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday at the East Harlem Community Partnership, we're having the Summer Youth Employment Program application assistance from 10 a.m. all the way to 3 p.m. We are located at 71 East, 111th Street, second floor. The information, thank you, Chair. I know that you and the board office have already sent it out. Thank you so much. And also the Chancellor's Town Hall that was supposed to be tonight has been rescheduled for March 23rd and also at the same location, Manhattan Center for Science and Math, my beautiful school, and all from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And March 14, which is, I believe, a Saturday, it will be, again, the Chancellor's Town Hall at Martin Luther King campus, located in 122 Amsterdam Avenue, in the morning at 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. I will be sending the information. Is hot off the press, basically. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosa. Asher?
All right, Elsie already took one of my announcements, but the other one is also due on Friday. There's a paid high school internship opportunity at the Manhattan DA's office. The deadline is this Friday at 5 p.m. It says the description is this rigorous 5-week internship provides a insider's view of the criminal justice system. Interns will engage in workshop and discussions and participate in a mock trial program. There's also, this is just open to students all over the city, but I like to bring these opportunities to East Harlem. I have mentioned before the LGBT Center downtown, they are doing some social justice internships that high school students can get paid. I think it's about $300 for about 6 sessions or something like that. If you would like that information, there's also a chorus that they hold, that there's free Metro cards and food. I had a couple of people reach out to me about that. So if anyone else would like that information, please let me know. And yeah, that's about it.
Thank you, Asher. Christina?
Hi, sorry. Department of Sanitation is hiring people for snow removal. They are offering, if I remember correctly, I'm sorry, I don't have the flyer in front of me, $40 an hour, I believe it is, for snow removal, but also NYCHA is also hiring I'm sorry, let me step back. You have to go in person to the Department of Sanitation to sign up for that job. NYCHA is also asking for snow removers. And I believe they are paying $19.33 per hour. So those are the two jobs. Yeah, it's a big difference. If I were you, I would go to sanitation, but those are the two flyers that I received. So
Thank you, Christina.
you're welcome. And I'll send them to you as soon as I can pull them up.
Thank you, and I'll share them. Kioka?
Really quickly, so my applications for the Little League, East Harlem Little League, is open. It will stay open till March 14th. We accept young people from the ages from 4 to 12 years old. It's a totally free program. We do not charge our young people for anything. The only thing that they have to come with is their sneakers. So we pay for everything. That's why I'm trying to get the park fixed, because I don't have money to do that. But we welcome all the young people. And the difference between our program and a lot of other programs is that Little leagues are supposed to be area focused. So if you live in a certain place, you can only play in a certain league. We open up our league to everyone because we know that our young people don't always have the money to enroll in some of the other leagues, which is $300 and $400. So I just want to announce that.
Thank you, Kyoka. Malik?
Question, Kyoka. What are the ages range from? And then what are the time frames, like dates and times that you go from?
Sure. So our ages is from 4. So from 4 to 6 is our T-ball. From 7 to 9 is our minor league, and our major league is 10 through 12. And then we have a travel team, which is 12 through 14, but that's a special league. And we start our program in April and we end in the end of June. But the travel team stays on until leagues are finished. So our travel team stays on until September. But everything is free, so we don't charge for anything.
And then second question, how do we sign up?
I actually sent Angel a flyer, but I can send it to you guys via email. And it has a QR code, and you can just do the registration.
All right. Thank you, Kyoka. Thank you, Malik. Christina, is that an old hand?
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it. I just want to make sure I didn't miss you. Thank you.
I still have my announcement, if I may.
Oh, I didn't know you had one. I'm sorry, Malik. Go ahead.
I had one from the beginning, but you left me for last or for
No,
second to last.
I swear to God, you didn't come up. I wouldn't have done that. You know that. Go ahead.
So all I wanted to say, this is very, very brief. I know Charlie worked very, very hard into getting us Terrence Cardinal Cook. So I would like for our chair and district manager to possibly put that back. I know March is somewhere else, but hopefully we get back, because we would like for our snacks, our hot chocolate and everything. So please put Terrence Cardinal Cook back on our list.
I will tell you, I don't know what's scheduled in advance, if it's already done in March and April's open. If they'll have us, that's where we'll do it. So thank you for bringing that up. I will make sure that happens. With that said, I have a couple
We'll
of
make
quick
sure you have your snack.
Thank you, Carlos. With that said, I'm gonna just make a couple of quick announcements. I meant to mention this in my chair report. 2 longstanding board members resigned, Jason Wu and Michelle Wiltshire Clement. Their contributions and their leadership will definitely be missed. I just think also having them around, they're great people. That'll be missed as well. We've extended it. We hope they continue to engage with us. Jason does a lot of great work at Legal Aid. I know a lot of board members who've talked to him, and he's helped everybody who reaches out, however he's able to. And same thing for Michelle. So again, I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that also on the record here. And then just a reminder, our board oversight committee meets on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. It will be in person unless there's some other weird storm coming. And then lastly, the next full board meeting is scheduled for March 17th. So we're going back to the 3rd week of the month, because our videographer will now be available those evenings. With that said, that concludes the announcements. Rosa, if you could take the roll, please.
Great. Everyone, please listen for your names, and I should be able to see you. Jose Altamirano. Jose Altamirano.
Present.
Thank you. Fernando Alvarez.
Present.
Thank you. Adembria.
Present.
Thank you. Marie Charles. Marie Charles. I'm counting you as absent. I cannot see you or hear you. Leslie Colon.
Present.
Thank you. Carlos Diaz.
Present.
Thank you. Rosa Diaz is myself. Jessica Elliott.
Present.
Thank you. David Giordano.
Present.
Thank you. Ada Gizeri, I apologize.
Present.
Thank you. James Gray.
Present.
Thank you. John Green is absent. Chancellor Greg.
Present.
Thank you. Wanda Hopkins. Wanda Hopkins is absent. Kyoka Jackson.
Here.
Kyoka Jackson.
Still here.
Thank you. Christina Johnson.
Present.
Thank you. Jewel Jones.
Present.
Thank you. James Kempt.
Present.
Thank you. Sage Mason.
Present.
I did not see you there. Malik McCullough.
I said present.
I see you now. Malik
Present.
McCullough. Thank
Present.
you. Jennifer Meyer.
Present.
Thank you. Jessica Morris is absent. Neil Sawarama.
Present.
Thank you. Beverly Pavon.
Present.
Thank you. Samantha Pedreiro.
Present.
Thank you. Tanya Phelps.
Present.
Thank you. Valerie Ponti. Valerie Ponti is absent. Asher Rodriguez.
I'm present.
Thank you. Dawn Sanders.
Present.
Thank you. Xavier Santiago.
Present.
Thank you. Janal Satija. Janal Satija is absent. Russell Schuller. Russell Schuller.
Present.
Thank you. Thank you. Loretta So.
Present.
Thank you. Derek Stampone.
Present.
Thank you. Vincent Torres.
Presente. Mimi time.
Anne Marie Vasquez.
Present.
Thank you. Jason Villanueva.
Ready? Present.
Present.
Thank you. Hilda Vives Vasquez.
Present.
Thank you. Nye Whitaker. Absent. Agatha White. Agatha White. Absent. Wait,
Rosa,
Agatha? I'm
Present.
sorry. I did not see you. Okay, I see you now. Thank you. Back to you, Chair.
and Marie,
Can you
Marie
hear
is
me?
online.
Yes,
Marie
she said
Charles.
present.
I had to log in to on my phone because for some reason you couldn't hear on my laptop. So I'm here.
Okay. Thank you for
Rosa,
that.
did you hear me? I wasn't sure if you heard me.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Rosa, I saw Wanda on too. I don't know if you.
Wanda's on. Yeah.
Need to be able to see them when I call present. I
I
did
saw
not see
her.
them.
Maybe she couldn't answer you. Maybe there was an
Mhm.
issue
Not
with
sure.
audio.
Back to you, Chair.
Okay, so we have Agata marked present. We have
Yes.
Marie marked present. Okay, I'm looking for Wanda just to give her an opportunity. Did anyone hear her say present?
I think she's muted.
But I
Do
saw
you still
her.
see?
But
You still see it?
she's been even when we were doing the roll call on the votes, she's been on.
Mm-hmm.
She must be having a problem with her unmuting.
Okay,
Boy, she's
fine.
gone.
Well, all right, we'll take that into consideration. I don't want to
Yes,
keep any of you any longer. All right, we'll go to
she's
adjournment.
there.
If there are no objections, we will adjourn the meeting. Seeing no further business, the meeting is adjourned at 9:35 p.m.
Have a
Have a
great
great
night,
night, everyone.
Good night,
Have
mi
a good
gente.
night.